it's one thing.
She might have just misspoke. Like, I think she knows it's not.
I don't know.
Well, that was the whole idea that Putin went in there to keep it from getting into.
Of course, you know that. I know that.
Talking again to the candidates who would like to replace Governor Affordability.
I mean, if she would become president, I would move to Canada.
The action starts at 2:05 Wednesday, 6:30
It has nothing to do with her. She is a moron.
Has nothing to do with what?
He says it has nothing to do with
Oh, I've never talked about. When I said it was her people, I meant liberal.
That's it. Doc brought up color.
Oh, no, I meant liberal.
I heard him
I was
say
joking
more.
him as being
He's
a
not
progressive.
liberal.
Well, he is in some things, like I am.
He's
The Troubleshooter Show.
I'm what?
You can't define him.
libertarian like the rest of us.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. I know you hear a lot about CBD, but I'm telling you, the very best and the one that works is Panacea Life. You know, listen, the plant is the plant, right? So it's all in the processing. Panacea Life, a scientific lab up in Golden. They distribute to the country, even in kiosks at the airport and malls. I'm proud to be their representative for RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, inflammation, anxiety. It also has great effects for cosmetics with the anti-inflammatory properties. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Use Tom in the promo code for the rest of the month. You get 40% off. Welcome to the show. What's going on in your life? How can we help you? 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Kurt Rogers is with us from Affordable Interest Loans, Affordable Interest Mortgage. He does the famous liquid loan. I've been talking to him about that as a way to maybe, just now and then finance something and then make the kids have payments, amortize it for kids, and then they get the sense of making payments on something they want.
Of course, you can use it any way you want. A liquid loan is a line of credit on your home the last 30 years.
I'm doing it for my new home. It's the best thing around.
I know. And then what you do is any money that you put in the bank theoretically pays down your balance. I mean, it doesn't – see, people get scared when I say that, but you have to understand this. Let's just say you have I don't know, what's a typical loan? $350,000, Kurt?
Actually closer to $450.
Let's say $450. So now you got a $450 loan, right? So let's say you have $10,000 in the bank. It's as if you have $440 of a loan, not $450. So you're paying interest only on the $440, and you only have to pay interest only. You don't have to pay principal ever unless you want to. It's a 30-year line of credit. Now, some people pay interest, some people don't. If you're only staying in a house a few years, it's silly to pay interest. If you want to pay interest, you can pay interest. If you pay regular payments, you'll pay it off faster than a regular loan because it's simple interest. But in any case, it's a liquid loan. So some people, I got the idea from somebody who said, I told my son, you want this car? Here, you're going to finance this much. And he made a payment for the kid, and the kid makes the payment to his mortgage. In other words, it's a fake car loan. But it doesn't establish credit for the kid, but it does get him in the habit of making payments. Anyway, a lot of people use it for travel, home improvements, or they use it just to lower their monthly payments. Some use it because they want extra money so they don't have to go and take out an equity line of credit because it's already there. And there's no reason to ever get another loan, is there?
Actually, no, that's why they call it the all-in-one loan.
Yeah.
There's people that will take that loan and they'll buy investment properties. They'll build their portfolio. There's a lot of things you can do with it. As you pay it down, you can reach back in there and grab that money and improve your portfolio.
Anyway, if you have any questions on the liquid loan or financing in general, Kurt seems to be adept at all of that, really, over the years. He's even been in the car business. Weren't you in the car business?
22 years.
What did you do in the car business?
I was owner of a Toyota Lexus store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know all aspects of the car
financing in the car. Yeah, the car business. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it.
Devra, what is happening with you, Devra? Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is our number. 713-8255. Hi, Devra. What's going on?
Well, about 7 years ago, I went to the Denver Dating Company and signed up with my American Express.
Now, hold on. This was 7 years ago. And is the Denver dating company still around?
Oh, yes, and still cheating people left and right.
I've never heard of the Denver dating company.
Well, good.
So what happened? You signed up, used your American Express.
I did, yes. Luckily. Well,
Okay.
maybe.
What happened then?
Yeah. Well, I was told what clothing to bring. They did makeup, and I had to buy shoes, and they did a full photographic thing.
Okay,
and,
how much did it cost you back then?
Well, it was $9,700 for the whole total.
My God! And for $9,700, what did they do for you?
Nothing.
No, come on. You said they did a photo shoot.
They did do a photo shoot, but I was supposed to get copies of the pictures. I never did. They showed me men whose pictures were actually on Match.com. The list goes on. This was 7 years ago. So did you quit? No, I didn't. I didn't quit. I just, they didn't provide anything for me, and I didn't know. The $9,700, was that paid up front? Yeah, absolutely. Paid up front, $9,700 bucks. Well, now, may I ask you something? Did you ever ask for your money back? Well, I got involved with a Greek, and I went to Greece for a while and got married and lived in Greece, and then I came back.
Now, hold on, Deborah.
There was a long
did they help you?
Where I wasn't around.
Deborah, did they help you meet the Greek?
No, they did not.
Okay.
I went to Greece because I always wanted to go to Greece, and I met him in his shop in Monastiraki. I can speak a little Greek.
Did you get married?
A lot more. Yes, we did.
Did you have a big fat Greek wedding or whatever they call it?
No, we had a very small, intimate wedding at friend's house, they had a clergy person there.
What brings this call on 7 years later?
Well, Denver Dating Company decided they wanted more money from me.
Now, wait a minute. In the original agreement, was there a monthly obligation in addition to the $9,700?
No.
Well, if you paid $9,700 up front, why would they want more money from you 7 years later?
Because they need money, because they're a fraudulent organization.
Deborah, come on now. There must be a reason they're giving you. I'm not asking if you agree with it. How much are they trying to get from you?
$9,700.
You already paid it. Did you contest it back then?
I didn't. I was foolish, shall we say?
Deborah, so you paid $9,700, but they're saying you never paid it, or that was only half. What are they saying? Help me out here. I'm in the dark.
Well, my belief, and I can't speak for the person who's in charge, but my belief is that they don't have any people who are joining their dating service. And they were looking through their old records and said, aha, let's go and we'll put in the ticket for American Express, and then she'll have to pay again. Now,
Deborah, that is out and out fraud. Do you really believe, or is it more likely that original $9,700 never went through?
Oh, no, I think it did.
You think it did? Do you recall paying off $9,700?
At the time, I had a really good job. And
all right, so if that's the case, that's very easy to understand right now. Very easy. They committed credit card fraud. Hold on, and we'll address it. We'll address it. We can help you with it. Troy's got a question for Kurt Rogers. Go ahead, Troy. What's your question?
I was just wondering about getting money out of my equity in my house. Just in the past year, I refinanced a really good, low rate for the first, and I I'm hesitant to refinance it again.
What do you have right now? A 30 or a 15 year? How many years do you have on your house?
I have a 30. And
It's a relatively new 30.
Yes.
And
yeah.
What's the rate?
We're at 2.8.
Okay, and you want to know, and you're hesitant, but you may want to get out some equity. Now, did you take money out when you refied?
No, I did not.
Okay, and what is your loan to value? Do you know?
Loan to value, I'm probably about it's about 30% to the value of the house.
Wait a minute, you only have a 30% loan on your house.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Here's what I mean. If your house was worth $100,000 and you had a $30,000 loan, that would be a 30% loan to value. If you had an $80,000 loan, it would be 80% loan to value. So based on your value, is your loan at 30%?
It's actually a little bit. It's worth 900, and I owe just under 400.
Okay, so it's 50% basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty darn good position to be in. Hold on, and we'll figure out what to do.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67, 70, or when? What about benefits for a divorced or surviving spouse? So many questions, and Social Security will not give you the answers. I'm Mike Whitmore with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free Social Security class on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com, or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
American Restoration is a company to call if your property
has been insulted with fire, flood, asbestos problems, meth even, mold, unattended death, or some other kind of crime, whatever it is, even broken pipes. You need a restoration company, and I direct you to American Restoration because, frankly, the industry is riddled with liars, cheats, ripoffs, and incompetency. American Restoration can help you. Work with your insurance company. Work with your public adjuster. They will mitigate all of the damage immediately and help you to rebuild if you want them to. They'll do as little or as much as you want them to, and they can remediate flood damage within hours, safe removal of mold and toxic substances with all of the EPA certifications. Call them 8337-AM-REST, 8337-AM-REST, or online, amrest247.com. People understand the concept of life insurance. Now, why would anyone take out life insurance and purposely pay more than the premium requires? Well, in this country, the IRS allows you to have a cash value that grows tax-free. And Become the Banker is a strategy where you on purpose increase that cash value and let it grow tax-free. Borrow from it, pay it back, borrow from it, pay it back, and each time you pay it back, you put more money, interest into it, so you're borrowing from yourself, hence the name Become the Banker. So you then have a nest egg for retirement. Look up more at becomethebanker.org.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this.
After ordering your remodeling project, right, Dad? You've got that right, Todd. Hi, folks. Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy. Ever since the 80s, we've proven ourselves by being quick. Tell the folks, Todd. Well, there's only one way we'll resurface cabinets. 1/4-inch wood and nail. Replacement kitchens, only custom-built cabinets by our own people for a fabulous look. Bathrooms, you can count on the tried and true Done Right bathroom renovation system. And windows and entry doors? Dad, how much your 2 cents worth? Well, it starts with a quality window or door, yes, but I'm here to tell you that preparation, installation, and finish are exactly why they'll be able to join those that say, Done Right, did right by me. So folks, whether it's kitchens, baths, counters, or floors, or even replacement windows and doors, as always, you have our word, we'll treat you right, Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
For less than you pay for coffee, a brand new Carrier furnace and AC, $4 a day or $96 a month from Plumline. Don't wait to replace that old system, not when you get a new system for just $96 a month. Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's got you covered. Earning your trust since 1998. Service at home, servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle.
So you guys are damn the commercials today.
Turn to the expert.
Give us a good call. Quit playing.
You're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief of what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply. It's America's largest preparedness.
Still learning what the hell goes on.
Specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh.
I'm learning all
25 years in
I
storage.
feel like an idiot.
It's there when you need it.
Talk about
MyPatriotSupply.com. Several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com today and prepare for what's coming.
I'm trying to learn your motivation.
Where that started.
Your motivation.
You mean what I have up?
Yeah, your motivations. How that, what drives you while you're sitting in this chair.
Okay, got my email, got my call log, so I keep track of every call. My endorsements for the commercials. Okay. Oh, that I already did. Here.
From their trade buyers, you know you'll always be taken care of.
That's what I'm setting this. I'm setting this up. So now I say, yeah. So now I got to just put in my hours here. If you don't put in the right day and hour, see, like this has March 9th. I don't know why it goes back to the 9th. Because today's the 16th. So you go to the 16th. You go to 1400 is when the show ends. And then go. See, no done.
No text, so there's nothing. And now anything that comes in, bang, drops
Everywhere I go,
it.
there are creepy ads for headphones I've looked at one time.
And then this is just regular.
I didn't watch one. I downloaded DuckDuckGo.
She's
It's
online.
different right away. Take your privacy
What's that?
online.
Have we talked to her before?
Privacy simplified.
She's trying to get her money back from them 7 years ago.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We'll go back to that mortgage question in a minute, but I want to talk to Deborah. Deborah said 7
years ago, she went to the Denver Dating Company, which gets 2.5-star reviews. The Denver Dating Company charged her $9,700 on her American Express, and now they're coming after her for $9,700, or they put it on her Amex. There's only a few possibilities. One would be out-and-out fraud. The other one would be that the original charge never went through, and they're charging her for what she never paid. Now, they would only have 6 years to go after that debt before, or they lose their right to go to court and get a judgment. So you got to do some digging, Deborah. First of all, American Express will take it off without any question, right?
They are actually trying to retrieve it from her. Because
there's no trying. With electronic credits like this, credit cards, they can instantly take it back.
Okay, they're going to get it back, and
they should give you provisional credit immediately.
Oh, they have.
Okay, so there's no loss, no foul. You just want to let people know about it, or what?
Yes, I want them to know about it, and I want them to know that she's been doing fraudulent things. The owner of the company, and Lisa, I believe, is her name, and but she outright admitted that she cheated me because she sent me a release and non-disparagement agreement to sign, and she was going to give me $4,800.
When?
And when did she send it?
Yeah,
about 2 weeks ago.
So
about 2 weeks ago.
So wait a minute. She was going to give you half of what she took from you.
Yeah.
Well, why would you settle for that?
Oh, I didn't.
They have terrible reviews.
Oh, absolutely. 1 star out of whatever. And if you look on Facebook, they have ads on Facebook, and they make it look like kumbaya, wonderful things. An attorney I contacted, well, anyway, an attorney took a case to court. His name is Conley, and he's in Littleton. And the man had been promised that there would be women of his age group, and he signed the contract. And there were none, and she was taken to court then, and she paid the money back to the man. So,
well, what do you want us to do at this point?
Well, being on your radio show, I'm hoping that this will reach people who want to find a dating site. Go to Match.com. Go to some other way.
The ones that have been around forever. I get it. And Deborah, here's the deal. If you have any problems from here on out, like with them trying to do this again on your Amex, let me know. Call us back if you have problems getting it off of Amex. I don't think you should. But there are a number of reviews saying the same thing you did. So I imagine it could be fraudulent, but it could be that it was never paid to begin with, and they were trying to collect on an old debt. I mean, I have to leave that possibility open. Now, let's go back to Troy, who was asking about his loan. You can text the show at any time. The short code to text, 57739. Just put Tom in the line there so I know it's for me, 57739, and we will read each and every text, 57739. Now, Troy, you have a mortgage that isn't that bad, sir. You have a 30-year loan. It's a 2.8%, 50% loan to value on a $900,000 home. Now, if your goal is to tap your equity, in my opinion, it's not wise to get a second and an equity line of credit. I would get a new first using the liquid loan because it's a better loan and it gives you more choices. How long are you going to be in that home?
We don't have any plans of moving.
Okay, so then you do want to at least pay some principal. Because I was going to say with the liquid loan, a lot of people that blow into Denver and they're going to be out in 2, 3, 5 years, or they're going to move again, pay interest only. There's no reason to get an amortized loan and pay all of that interest up front, that amortized interest, because it's a waste when you can pay simple interest. Now, Kurt, the difference between amortized interest and a simple interest is with amortized interest, you're literally paying for the money that you're borrowing ahead of time.
It's front-end loaded.
Yeah.
Yes. You're paying probably 70% of it in the first 8 years.
Think about that. 70% of it, of the interest owed.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about Troy's situation. If he came to you with a new 30-year loan, 2.8%, 50% loan to value, he can probably, what do you go up to for that line of credit?
80% loan to value.
So he'd have some good money.
$320,000.
He'd have $320,000 available to you in addition to what you have. Plus you have the option of making interest-only payments when you want and then borrowing it. Or if you have money in the bank, Troy, do you have any money that you keep in the bank? That would be like having it paid against your loan, and it's always available to you. So what do you think? What are you thinking, Troy? If you want to get money out, why wouldn't you go with that? He was worried because he just refinanced. Is it wasted money? Like he paid some closing costs on that deal.
Correct, but if he's going to want to get a line of credit anywhere, he's going to pay more closing costs.
No matter what.
And I agree with you. If he redoes the loan, Troy, your payment right now is what, $2,100, $2,200 on that $400,000 with taxes and insurance?
Yes.
Your new payment would be $1,610.
Now, when you say $1,610,
that's the minimum payment
on his existing balance.
Right, of $400,000. That includes taxes and insurance.
$1,610. Now, is that paying any principal at all, or is that interest only?
That's the interest only portion. But if he pays the complete $2,110, as you know, as the payoff goes down, his payment goes down.
Right. It would be actually applied faster than a regular loan. If you did nothing but make the same exact payment, you'd be paying it off quicker.
And you'd have access to that 320.
So then if you want to buy a rental or something, or you want to go on vacation, you'd have access to 320 in a line of credit.
Okay.
So it's worth looking into.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering what the cost will be. So am I. What will the cost be on that loan for him?
Probably $4,000 to $5,000 is all.
That's with all fees, appraisals, credit reports, everything.
All third-party fees, all in.
So what are you thinking, Troy? I don't know. You ought to look into it. I'm going to give you his number, and then you decide. I mean, they're nothing. They're nothing like high pressure. Nothing. They'll talk to you about everything. It's 720-895-0500 and 720-895-0500. I called him this morning and asked him to run some numbers on me because I've been sitting on this house and I'm thinking maybe I should just do this. Maybe, it would have a use for me in the future. Let's talk now to Jimmy. Jimmy, what's going on, Jimmy?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What about you?
Tom, I talked to you last week concerning the Yukon that I bought from ECO's Motors.
Oh, yeah. So hold on. Let me get your file here. You did talk to me. And it was about Ethio. Yeah, I remember because it was a weird name. So what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I'm calling because since I talked to you last, I haven't really had the vehicle very much in my possession because they keep having to work on it and adding more and more stuff to it.
No, wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm still looking for your call, Jimmy. Recap the original for me, please. The original call. What's wrong to begin with your deal?
I thought that they had sold me an unsafe vehicle because it wasn't driving correctly.
Okay, and what did you do about it?
They actually took the vehicle, looked at it.
Wait, okay, and the name of this, what kind, it was was it a diesel truck?
It's a 2006 GMC Yukon.
Okay, I can't find your call for some reason, and I remember talking, there it is. Okay, it had 195,000 miles on it. Now, here's the deal, though, bro, but listen to this. They sold it as is, you took it back with problems. Now, I don't understand. What I don't understand is what you were complaining about, because you bought a truck with 195,000 miles on it as is. So why did you think they had to do anything?
Because before they sold me the vehicle, they told me that the vehicle had a new engine put in it and that it was a very nice vehicle.
But they didn't put that in writing anywhere.
No, they did not put that in writing.
And we saw your loan and your paperwork, and you said it was exactly what they said. You bought it for $8,100. They took a trade, and you have an $8,000 loan. Now, are they fixing it? Is it at their dealership?
It's still at their dealership. I went down there yesterday. They told me it was going to be ready yesterday.
But it's amazing they're even fixing it. That's what I'm getting at. What are they doing for you?
Well, they're doing a lot because
Well, that's good. That's good. So you're calling because they're not going fast enough. Is that it?
No, because I thought that it was a very unsafe vehicle, and I didn't think that
Jimmy,
they had the right.
Jimmy, I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm just going to give you the sad, hard, straight facts, okay? And this is what it is. You bought it. You bought it. The time to find out if it was safe or not is before you bought it, not after you bought it. You bought this truck and then changed your mind, okay? Now, whatever they're doing for you is stuff they don't have to do. Now, there are some minimum safety things on an as-is vehicle, minimum safety things, but they're very, very minimum. Kelly, if you can, try to get Norris up at SOS, because we get this call all the time on what is required in an as-is vehicle. He does usedcarcheckout.com. He checks out used cars. And what I mean is this, Jimmy.
You got it.
With a car, that is as is, you are not protected except for very, very, very few items. Now, you are protected with some items, but very few. So what we need to do is figure out, did they sell it to you in violation of safety standards? You're automatically saying yes, okay? That's what you're saying. But I don't know that. I got to check it out. You're saying they absolutely sold an unsafe car. Well, they're not allowed to, but the thing is it truly? Okay, so here's what I have. Even though a car is bought as is, that doesn't mean that they're allowed to sell you just anything. There have to be certain things with the vehicle, certain things. First of all, if it was a salvage vehicle, and they know it, they have to tell you, and they have to disclose any kind of safety issues, or it has to have minimal safety issues. So hold on, and we'll try to figure that out.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
There are some reverse loans where you can actually go down to 55 years of age. There are some private reverse loans now that can do that. You ought to find out about it. Empower Reverse Mortgage knows about these loans and has done some, and they know about the age limits. By the way, the conventional reverse loans are 62 and older. They even have jumbo reverse loans. What is a reverse loan? It's tapping the equity in your home. I trust Empower Reverse Mortgage to take care of you in this regard. You can trust Mark and his team. Why don't you call them if you're even thinking about a loan? Find out what your options are. EmpowerReverse.com. EmpowerReverse.com. 833-502-3100. He's local. 833-502-3100. K&H Home Solutions has a 65-year track record in Denver. I knew the original owner, and K&H stands for his wife Kay and himself Henry, and of course he sold. When I got here, shortly after I got here, about 40 years ago, he sold to the new owners that I know and love. And I'm telling you, they still do the warranty work on everything they've ever done with lifetime warranties. You can trust this company. And now you get 30% off their beautiful energy-efficient windows, durable siding, and designer doors. Find out more at khwindows.com. That's for 30% off, khwindows.com. Free legal advice right now for your estate. If you have questions about your estate plan, call Blake Harris at blakeharrislaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833 Ask Blake. He doesn't charge for the answers. He only charges if you hire him. He quotes flat rates up front for whatever you need. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Did you know nearly 1 million knee replacements were done in 2017, and that number is expected to reach 2.6 million in 2030? Hi, I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo Colorado. At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Healthy Knee Protocol, an alternative approach to improving knee health.
Or maybe my computer camera. That's another option.
That's the one that I use right here.
And you put it on your stream?
Yeah, well, but because it's in here, okay, because it's already parted. So basically, we need cameras that have accessible IPs or that can set up a stream that we can pick up.
Can my cell phone, iPhone be an IP addressable camera?
That's the question. That's the right one.
Okay. IP cams turns your iOS into a portable IP surveillance camera. Run IP cam on your device via your Wi-Fi network, and you can view images. So it's an app. I should try it, just see if you can address it. I mean, we don't have to do it like live, but would you be able to look and see, or would it interrupt what you're doing? Turn your phone into an IP camera.
We can try it anytime, so we don't have to be here. We can actually be in the morning before we.
Well, I know, but when we're in here, we can't.
Yeah, huh? Well, I don't want to
No, I know. I'm not asking you to pull it up, but could you see if it's even visible to you without interrupting our feed? No, right?
Probably so.
I'm just going to, for the hell of it, I'm going to download this thing.
Probably so. I might be able to add another camera without crashing and burning.
I mean, I'm not asking. Oh, yeah. I'm saying here. I see what you're saying. I just want to see if it'll work.
No, I'm pretty sure it'll work. We just need to have the app that'll do it. And an IP camera viewer is an app I used on my Android. It's been around a while.
Okay, so.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to the IRS than you have to.
That would
I'm
be good too, so I'm going to
Linda
save it on my computer.
inviting you to a free class, Taxes in Retirement, on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to
Kurt, I like your fix-up loan, but you don't need it with this loan. You can do your fix-up, except the appraisal doesn't reflect the improvements. Correct. That's the difference.
One-day treatment, life-changing results. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com. Denver's Talk Station.
Well, you can do a rehab loan, a fix-up loan, including the future value with the work done.
I'm Tom Martino, your
troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Do you know Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do market valuations of your home? Complimentary. It's a service he's been doing for a while. He's one of the most productive real estate people around, and part of it is because of his wonderful service. And so if you want to know what your house will sell for, not what it appraises for, what it will sell for, which is often more, you can call Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. That's 303-920-1622. All right, so Norris is with SOS Inspections. Now, Norris, you do a website, usedcarcheckout.com. You go out and you check out, of course, cars people buy. And you once told me, Tom, even if a car is as is, there are certain things must be disclosed. And also, they're not allowed to sell unsafe cars. Is that a broad statement, or does it get specific?
It gets pretty specific.
Okay.
There's a little bit of interpretation in the law, but it does get pretty specific.
What about the safety issues? Let's talk about safety. What safety issues have, like if a car has zero brakes, can you sell it as is?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty obvious then, right? So, okay, then what about a windshield if it's cracked beyond you can't hardly see out of it?
Yeah, that's a safety issue too. And every dealer in town will put a windshield in that car before they sell it to you. Private parties, not so much, of course.
Okay, what else? What else would be covered under what you feel is the as-is clause?
Airbag warning light on.
Okay.
Anti-lock brake warning light on. A charging system that doesn't work. So maybe you jumpstart the car, drive around the block, and it dies, and now you're stranded in traffic.
Wait, is that something you think would be covered under safety?
It has to be able to start and run and keep up with traffic to be roadworthy.
Oh.
And if it can't do that, then that's not roadworthy, and it's a safety issue. Yes.
Okay, now you also mentioned that there was a Colorado statute, the Certified Title Act, and it says that if it sustained major damage, whether repaired or not repaired, they have to disclose it or not? Flood, fire, hail?
Yes, fire, hail, flood, previous rental car, previous loaner car.
Total loss?
Total loss, yes, all that stuff has to be disclosed on a material particulars disclosure form.
Okay. Now, let's talk about his case. Jimmy, what exactly do you think they violated? How did they violate the law?
Okay, by all of the repairs that had to get done, which they have.
Well, no. That's not what we're talking about. Jimmy, please.
Yes.
Did it have brakes?
The brake lights were on.
Did it have brakes, Jimmy?
It had brakes.
Okay. Did it have steering?
Yes.
Could you see through
It wobbled a lot.
Jimmy, I'm just asking the basics. That's all they care about. If you add to it, it doesn't matter. Could you see through the windshield?
Yes.
Okay. Was it ever in a previous wreck and not disclosed, like a really bad wreck and frame damage or anything like that? Do you know that?
I believe so. I can name all the stuff that they had to redo.
Okay, what did they have to redo? That might help. What did they have to redo?
Okay, they had to switch out both the right and the left side of the tie rods. They had to change.
That's not part of it. Keep going.
A pitman arm.
What else?
The CV axle has to be changed out.
It has 195,000 miles on it. Jimmy, you're mistaken this as-is clause. I mean, listen, I don't... Norris, the biggest mistake people make, tell me, it's thinking that they have more power than they do. He has a 195,000-mile vehicle that he bought as is. Now, I mean, truly, I mean, it would have to be something major, right?
That's right, yeah. That sounds like all normal wear and tear stuff for an older car with a bunch of miles.
Now, Jimmy, if you want to hire Norris, if you want to hire him, let us know and see if he can find something where that car shouldn't have been sold to you.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
Traffic on the major metro highways actually looking pretty good at this point. No reported accidents. So speeds are pretty good as you work your way around. Now, Loveland Pass is closed due to an avalanche, and further west in Glenwood Canyon, westbound I-70 is closed. Between exit 133 and 129, it's a rolled semi there.
What spots do I have, bro?
Approximately 5 o'clock this afternoon. Fox 31 to pinpoint.
I got a public insurance adjustment.
Okay, thanks.
Snow moves in later and through overnight. Higher snow totals to the west and south. And for tomorrow, a mix of rain and snow at the high of 39. Currently, it's 51. With your Impact Traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630. Hey, how?
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I've looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Hey, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Don't ever go through an insurance claim of any kind without at least consulting a public adjuster. That means if you have a claim in your home, even if it's a broken pipe, a kitchen fire, or the major fires, the Marshall fires, or something to do with fringe damage, smoke, soot, ash, or anything like that, you need the help of Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. They'll take a look at any one of your claims free of charge, even if one's been recently closed, to see if you were treated fairly. They can even reopen closed claims. They can help you with current claims. They'll be honest on what they can do for you, and they can almost always collect more than you can collect on your own. Get what you rightfully have coming to you. Go to this website, coclaims.com, coclaims.com, or call 720-715-0000, 720-715-0000. I love when people can be at par with the big box stores, but give you much better service and even better prices, and that's what Simply Floors Inc. does. If you're looking for floors, they have a whole giant selection of carpets in all price ranges, LVT, that's luxury vinyl tile, and hardwoods of all kinds, including laminates. Now, here's the deal. They have better prices. They also have better counsel. They will help you pick the right floor, and then they have design consultants that help you incorporate the right colors and the right textures into your design, and better installers. All of this adds up to simply a better experience. Make your own appointment. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and
I'll get it in content.
All right, about a minute. Hundreds and
Or okay, is a minute to come back to the show, or
a minute till the break around.
okay? Got it.
Nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. No, healthy life.
You know, so many people concentrate on price and the market when they do real estate and list their home, and they think, I'm automatically going to get a bunch of money and I'm going to get it quickly. That's not the case. Really and truly, so many people leave money on the table because they don't have a master negotiating expert like Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Oh, sure, you can sell your house, and yeah, it might even be more than the asking price. But is it for maximum dollar? Frank Duran likes to believe he sells for more. Well, he doesn't just like it. He can prove it through statistics that he sells for more money, more, and quicker than most everyone else. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And he will never hold you to a long-term listing agreement. He wants to earn your trust every day. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Do you get personal attention for your business credit card processing or people? Dealing with out-of-state companies is frustrating. Michael Brown here, and I want you to get in touch with Rocky Mountain Credit Card. They've been providing local business
so
credit
IP
card processing and
connect your
solutions for nearly 2 decades. Visit RockyMountainCreditCard.com and click the Michael Brown special link to check out a great offer that includes free lifetime equipment, no gateway fees, and a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Rocky Mountain Credit Card, your local merchant services company.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com.
The device into an IP camera.
ZipRecruiter.com/work.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She
Only
used that
2
soothing
freaking
scent to calm
stars.
you, and her mom used it to calm her.
Yeah, they're usually
Well, you get the idea.
Not able to connect.
Vicks Vapor Rub's
user contrived
and today it's
apps.
Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks
It
Vapor
doesn't
Rub.
even give me the ability
Vicks
to add a
Vapor Rub,
camera.
family tradition for a reason.
Hi, I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo Colorado. What activity would you enjoy if your knees didn't hurt? Have you wondered if there is an alternative to surgery? At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Healthy Knee Protocol, a process created with you in mind. Request an appointment today at any of our 5 convenient locations in Golden, Aurora, Thornton, Colorado Springs, and now Littleton. Begin your journey to healthy mobility and healthy living. All right, back in soon. Osteo.com today. That's RestoreOsteo.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget to get your insurance checkup. We were talking about public adjusters and all the other stuff, but and restoration companies. But what you really need is to make sure you're not underinsured. 85% of the people up in the Marshall Fire is underinsured. Yeah, they can't rebuild. So you have to have your dwelling amount realistic, even with riders. They have been shorted up there. So get an insurance checkup from Compass, 303-996-9000. It's very important, 303-996-9000. And also they can look at your other coverage and let you know if you're paying too much or not. Compass Insurance Group, theinsurancehhelpcenter.com. So, Jimmy, I'm not trying to frustrate you, but you have nothing. You don't have a leg to stand on with your truck. You say they shouldn't have sold it. It was a piece of crap. You could have found that out. You could have gone to a mechanic and found that out. Instead, you bought it as is, 195,000 miles, a GMC Yukon 2006, and you paid $8,200. You didn't get cheated. You bought what you got. You got what you bought. Now, if they're fixing it, more power to you. If they're not fixing it, then they should give it back to you. But we can call them for you and find out what stage it's in. Do you want us to do that?
No, at this point, the only other question I had, Tom, is the relay hub not part of it not being safe?
No, it's not. You don't understand.
Okay, well,
it's very, very, very basic safety things, and it doesn't cover what you have. Jimmy, I know you're grasping at straws. The time to do that is before you buy it. Now, Joe, we're going to come back to you if you want to hang on, man. You want to talk about your disclosure on a rental vehicle, so hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Get your calls in, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell.
So that one has terrible views.
How do you go? And when your home sells for more, you keep the difference. No longer do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home. Let me tell you about Ruby, a recent Orchard tester. Ruby's home sold on the market for $33,000 above his cash offer. Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more cash at closing. Ruby's story isn't unique. 99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market for more than their cash offer. Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. Takes just a couple
One
minutes
star
and
for the
skip
pro.
home listing.
Holy shit.
If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost, no-obligation offer at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
KRSHD2 Denver. KHOW Denver and iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app.
Does
Music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
the iPhone App Store have a thing in it called IP webcam?
Hey, Terry?
Yes.
Hey, it's Doc from Martino Show. Did ZZ Appliance ever get in touch with you?
Now, look,
No,
the
they have
computer
not.
one has, this has like 5 stars, and this is IP.
Yeah, I spoke to somebody named Zane, and he said he was going to call you. I'll give him another call and tell him. Okay, I'll try it again.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, for viewing your cameras. Right. No, I want to turn this
Well, he
into
said that he'd look into it, and he would call you. So
turn your
I'll try
device
to
into
know.
an IP.
I guess
This
he's
has
just
way
giving me a
better
runaround as
than
well,
the
but
computer one.
I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let me see what this says. This says, turns your iOS device into a wireless IP camera via built-in whatever for securing, monitoring, and audio support. The Lite Edition will add watermark on all video frames of IP server.
You've got to go ahead and pay for the $4.
Yeah, but if we can see if it works first.
Exactly.
Hold on. So this, let's just get it and see. And then if it works.
North Korea test fired another missile today, but it did not go as planned. The South Korean military says the missile failed shortly after takeoff.
Now, IP webcam, are you talking about?
IP webcam. I'm looking at one here for Android that will literally turn my camera into.
No, this is a local. Turn your old smartphone into an IP camera and monitor your belongings. Okay, this one has less stars than the other. Let's try one at a time. So let's try this IP camera Lite. See if it works. Okay.
Research shows people remember radio.
Now that's done. So I'm going to open it.
The Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance.
And then I don't know what I mean. Does it? Okay, so let's open it. And it says add IP camera. You can add IP camera by scanning QR code from another device's IP number or add manually. I just want this camera.
Only pay for what you need at Liberty.
Add an IP camera. Jeez, I mean, so how do I add an IP camera? That's what I understand. Okay, I guess I have to do this. Add IP camera. Okay, let's see. Scan. I hope it finds mine. IP camera would like to access the camera. Okay. There. Okay, so I have this camera.
Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, what happens? Oh, wait. It wants to scan a QR code. That's not working. That's not the way to do it.
Motorists now driving the recently completed eastbound I-70 lane between Steel Street and Colorado Boulevard. CDOT Stacia Seller says drivers need to be careful through the construction.
Add IP camera. Add on. Let me just see settings. Settings.
Lanes were shifted to the south to allow crews to start installation of the future express lanes. King Soopers will focus takeaways at Drive location in Boulder next Tuesday to honor the victims of last year's mass shooting. It's the one-year anniversary.
Streaming and active use, live video and cloud services. No, I don't want to do that.
So how do you? It says it allows your device. So how do I add this fucking camera?
To what?
My camera in this thing. Turn on IP camera.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
Right now we're looking pretty good on the metro area highways as you work your way between C470 and Colfax. Only about 50
Add IP camera.
Either direction.
Okay. Manual.
No slow traffic
Now,
to deal with.
it wants my user.
That
I want the camera in this. That's what I thought this did, but it doesn't. It just doesn't.
Weather mostly cloudy, a high of 54.
When I say add an IP camera, it wants to scan a QR code. I don't have a QR code for this.
Tonight's low 35, then for tomorrow a mix of snow and rain with a high of 30.
Allow IP camera Lite to use your location.
46. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30. Hey how?
I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football.
Yeah,
I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Let's talk about getting your furnace completely checked. Now, it's going to get cold. People say, why should I get my furnace checked? Do you know how many people have gotten their furnace cleaned and checked, and it's increased its efficiency or helped it run better, where they thought they had a major problem, it turned out they didn't. And for just $39, fix it. 24/7 will come in and actually clean your furnace.
You can turn your device into a wireless camera
How?
Like never before. 720-526-3939.
I mean, it's just not working.
Let me see if I can view it.
Add IP camera.
2168116. I just built mine.
Wait, did you get IP camera or are you doing the web?
I use IP camera.
And how did you add it? Did you go to
I downloaded the app.
Yeah.
Then I looked around in it for a little while, and then I just found where it says turn on the server. As soon as I turned on the server, my camera jumps up live, and now I want to see if I can grab it with this machine.
Turn on IP, that's what I did. Turn on it, and it says your WAN address cannot be accessed through WAN.
Okay, what network are you on?
Okay, let me see. Okay, good.
You got to be on this network here, TSN office.
Okay, I'll check it. I am.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by WaterPros.net. You have the finest water systems at the lowest prices anywhere. You can get water filtration systems for pure drinking water at your kitchen for under $1,000. Think about that. Fully installed, a triple filter with reverse osmosis. It doesn't even use electrical power, so there's no wiring involved. It runs by the power of the water. That's WaterPros.net. Let's go to the phones and talk to Joe. Whatever your question is, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have Kurt Rogers with us from Affordable Interest Mortgage, also talking about the liquid loan or any credit or loan issues you may want to talk about. Joe, what's going on now with your rental vehicle?
Well, Tom, I heard your attorney, the last segment, being able to talk about the disclosures that have to happen. And I haven't rented one yet, but I have thought about maybe getting my vehicle up for the Turo short-term rentals. Is that something that I'm going to have to disclose, or do you have to disclose that if your car is being used for Uber or things like that?
Okay. You know what? That's a really good. And by the way, that was Norris, our used car expert. And I want to look on the list here, because what you're asking about, you're asking, what do you have to disclose? And it says here, the motor vehicle is salvaged. Okay, you don't wear it. The motor vehicle has sustained damage. Framing. The motor vehicle has been modified. No. The motor vehicle has been declared a total loss. The motor vehicle has been stolen. The motor vehicle has been a police vehicle, vehicle for hire, rental vehicle, or a loaner vehicle. Okay, you must disclose this. Now, this is material enclosure and disclosure sellers must make to the buyer, and this is even if it is as is. So if you're using it as a loaner or a courtesy vehicle or a rental vehicle, if it's ride share, now are you talking about renting your car out, right?
Yeah, like those short-term Turo type rentals where you just kind of
I think you do have to disclose it according to this. Now, Joe, listen, I'm not talking to you like an attorney. I'm talking to you as a person. And here's what I'm saying. I don't know what happens if you don't. If you sell it as is, and then they find out one time it's been used for rideshare or it's been used as a rental, I don't know what they can do. Can they rescind the deal? I guess if you had a major problem, they could. I guess they could. There is a law that you would be violating.
Right on. Well, hey, I've got to drop off, but I really appreciate that info.
Thanks. And I'm wondering how many people really believe this, or really know it, or do it. If you drive for Uber, is that considered a police vehicle? No. A vehicle for hire? Yes. It's a vehicle for hire. A rental vehicle? That would be if you rent it out. Or a loaner vehicle or a courtesy vehicle. You must tell these people when you're buying, even if it's as is. Very interesting. Was it like that when you were in the car business, Kurt? Do you remember that?
No.
it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, no.
Because this is, I'm trying to find it. The CRS is, no, it's the...
If it was a demonstrator, we had to let people know it was a demonstrator and who drove it when the maintenance was done. But anything else, no. If it was a rental car that we bought and sold, we didn't have to notify them. We would, because normally they were in very good condition.
Yeah, and now the law probably changed since then. And anyway, I'm looking up the actual law. I had a synopsis of it to see... okay, does the regulation, okay, yeah, this is the regulation, and it's called the dealing in, let's see. A used vehicle is defined as a vehicle which has been sold, bargain, exchanged, given away. Okay, this goes into much, much detail. In any way, there are some laws, even when you sell as is. So, just know that. And, you have to disclose certain things. Okay, so Kurt, the liquid loan we talk about, what are most people using it for?
Basically to pay off their home faster and give them access to money should something come up down the road to where
emergencies.
Emergency fund. They lose a job, they got extra bills coming in. Yes, that's what most people are using it for.
How many take out the liquid loan and then put extra cash in the bank to lower the balance?
I'm going to give you a pretty good guess in 90%, because what most of them don't realize is they have the extra cash. One of the things that...
Right, it's just sitting there as a credit against their balance.
Correct. Most of them don't know that.
Now, if someone, and there are people, I'm not trying to sound ostentatious, there are a lot of people who have $100,000 in the bank. There are. They've saved up a long time, maybe they're retired. Let's say if they have $100,000 in the bank, that $100,000 would be working for them.
Drops their payment $400 a month.
And because it subtracts that much from their loan.
From the principal, so it lowers their payment by $400. It's like getting paid for
their minimum payment. And you keep talking about minimum payment. So minimum payment on a simple interest loan like this is interest.
Correct.
Minimum payment. If you want, you can pay principal. You don't have to pay it every month. You can pay it every year, once a year. You can pay it every other month, whatever you want to do. You don't ever have to pay principal until, of course, the end of the loan. Or when it comes due, or do you have to start paying it down?
After 10 years, the line amount, the total line amount that you have will start to decrease.
So instead of being 80%, it would go to 75%?
Well, let's say, we'll take the case earlier, the man had the line amount of $720. At 10 years, they're going to start to divide the balance 240 months into that $720 and subtract that dollar amount, because they don't want you pulling out $700,000 with a year to go. So,
oh, I see it. So they gradually, after 10 years, gradually reduce the amount you can borrow.
Correct.
So it turns out that at the last year, you can't borrow but a little bit.
No.
You're right. Okay. And that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't think most people even think about this, but this is a 30-year loan, so renewing it is not, even in the cars, most people, they're going to be either out of the house or gone or whatever.
Well, what we're seeing lately over the last couple of years, because of home values, somebody that had like a house that was worth $500,000, 2 years later now it's worth $650,000.
Can they refinance the liquid loan?
To pick up that extra $150 on their line amount. It doesn't cost them basically anything, $10 a month, but they now have an extra $150,000 they can access, which for some people they use that money to make more money.
Right, they can, but okay, what is the interest tied to? It's an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage.
It's tied to the 1-year T-bill.
So whatever the T-bill is.
Not tied to the Fed's fund rate. So when the Feds raise the rate, it doesn't affect this loan. So our rates have been staying pretty steady, where the Feds are raising the rates and the banks are raising the rates. This loan,
and while the rate itself looks like it's more than a current loan,
it's not.
It's not because of?
The way the loan works, because when you put money in, it basically reimburses you on the money you put in for the same rate you're paying. What the total cost of your interest to own the home, it will be less than what your total cost of interest is on a 2.875. So what you're basically doing is when you...
you're assuming that there's certain money left in the bank as a deposit.
Well, in the case of Troy earlier that called, that extra $500 would allow him to pay that home off in 14.9 years.
Oh, I see.
And his effective interest rate is 2.5. Now, while the rate may be higher, he's only paying an interest rate of 2.5 because he's paying less interest on the home. It's about total interest
I get it.
paid.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, that's why we call it the liquid loan. What is the official name from the underwriter?
Some banks will call it the
all-in-one.
That's one. The other one is the asset manager. Macquarie invented it. CMG uses it. They just have their own name.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you call it the liquid loan,
yes,
which is brilliant. Okay, so we have more coming up. If you have you don't have to call about the liquid loan, but if you want to call about it, it's a great loan. 303-713-TALK. You can call about anything you want. 303-713-8255. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, don't sit on it.
Energy. You want to talk?
Why are we not hearing anything? Is your mic on, bro? Is your mic on?
To help me with hiring, training,
That's why
HR
I wasn't hearing
administration,
one. I don't hear the monitor.
well, giving my employees
You
competitive
should
benefit
babysit that,
options.
please.
And because I'm able to focus on other priorities,
when you
my
don't get a
employees
monitor
can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I talked to you about when he lists the home, he doesn't hold you to a long-term contract because he wants to show you his worth every day. He wants you to be happy. Even if you change your mind and decide not to sell, no penalties. Frank Duran, the real estate man, has your best interest at heart. 303-920-1622. Now let's talk about when you want to find a home. They have a team for buying and advocating for you and negotiating the best price. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
When you were a kid and lost a tooth, it was cute, and it was no big
apple for a month. But as a kid, it wasn't embarrassing if you missed a tooth and you smiled. Like I said, it was cute, and you might even get a burger tooth from the tooth fairy. Unfortunately, it's not like that as an adult. When you're missing a tooth or two or more, now
For
it can
getting online?
impact your life. Not just what you
Still?
see,
Gave me
with
these.
friends or ask someone out on a date, or even just whether you smile. This is where Aspenwood Dental and the Colorado Dental Implant Center can help.
So if I go to iHeart, they gave me
No, go down.
So that
Go
as
to
one
iHeart, yes.
recent Aspenwood Dental client said,
Okay,
well, I've had my implants
Type
6 months,
that in.
and I wish I'd gotten them years ago. I can even eat apples now. End quote. Seriously, if you're missing teeth, implants can change your life. To get started with a free consultation, call Aspenwood Dental at 303-751-3321. That's 303-751-3321. Or go online at aspenwooddental.com. That's aspenwooddental.com.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You
I
can
know
get
just
real
enough about
lasting
computers
relief
to get in
now
trouble.
with natural
Oh, you know a lot about other things, so somebody help.
This is not my specialty.
In regenerative solution that can restore and repair damaged tissue. No surgery and no drug. This is the relief you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocols that QC
What do you think about getting
created by a doctor with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine.
I think it changed him into a contender for sure.
Yeah, I think he's a very good kid.
Life-changing
That's what
results
people
with
live with wanting
zero
this life.
downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, and non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint
We
pain
paid a lot
holding you
for
back. QC
Yeah.
Kinetics. Right now,
2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, and 3 players. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But if it makes him into a contender, nobody will care.
Now, get us in the playoffs. It's a chance to work.
There is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostatogenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in
We're good for April for
number
JFC.
because
Yeah.
it works.
I got to put it on my calendar, so hold on.
Say 5 or 11 to October 5th.
No, I think sooner, just do it the sooner. You know, I don't mean get it over with, but I mean then, because I might not be as fresh in a few months, you know, I'm aging.
I got to take advantage of my.
They got somebody for April, and then.
Oh, they did. Okay, so I have to take another one.
You have to.
Okay, good. Let me do this then.
First Wednesday of a month.
So when is the next available one?
I don't know that. I know these two are. I'll find out.
Okay, well, either the next available or tell me that one.
I will.
Pick one. Just pick one of those. In fact, pick whatever. I mean, I'm only out of town. I'm out of town for a wedding. Oh, that's not until July. Never mind. So, yeah, the last part of July. So.
Which helps manage diabetes and prediabetes.
There was a
Our goal was to create healthy cereals for your family without sacrificing.
Mine are fumbling, but
short.
Kurt, do you have kids?
I have 2 kids and 3 grandchildren and 1 great granddaughter.
You'll love the flavor.
I was an idiot. I had kids 51. Starting off. I have a 15 and a 16-year-old.
Well, it keeps you young, Tom.
You wouldn't trade them for the world.
No, nothing. No. What helped me is I didn't have the stress as a young man trying to plan for that. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have stress now, but I have more money now than I did.
You're more seasoned. Life experiences.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I might want to be a little younger because I want to see them into their lives.
I wouldn't mind waiting.
I feel like in
I had mine
Indiana,
at the younger age.
Yeah. There's a blessing either way.
Yeah, I had mine. I had her when I was 42.
Okay, that's a nice age. That's a nice age. You're settled. You're
Yeah, that's my whole young age.
But also, I have more time with my kids now than when I was younger.
Yes, because you weren't building your career.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Hello, Vanessa. I urge people to call when they have problems because we love solving them before, not after. Like some people wait so long. Hey, so you have a 2009 Toyota Matrix. What is that Matrix? Is that an SUV?
It's a small car, kind of like the Toyota Yaris.
A hatchback.
A smaller version. Yes, correct.
That's what Ann's told me. Okay, so what's going on with it?
So I took it to my mechanic, and they said we're looking at replacing the bushing mountain. I don't recall the other word for it, but it's a stabilizer.
Oh,
system.
okay. Mm-hmm. Is this in the front?
The rear, and the fuse box is damaged as well as the reservoir for the windshield washer.
How did that happen? Were you in an accident?
So in the Carfax, when I requested Carfax, it appears as an incident as opposed to an accident, but the damages that were caused by the incident
Wait a
are
minute.
as
Hold on.
big as an
Hold on. When did you buy this car?
Last week.
Oh, my goodness. So you just bought it. Okay.
Yes.
So where did you buy it?
I bought it in Denver under a lot of misleading information.
Like what? Like, was it a dealer?
The guy portrayed himself to be a private seller. And when I got to Denver, because I'm from the Colorado Springs, then he said, oh, my friend is selling it. I sold it to my friend who happens to be a dealer, but it's my car. I can negotiate the price.
Oh, my God. This is a flim-flam. So who actually signed the bill of sale to you? Who was it? Was it a dealer or an individual?
It was a dealer, correct. It's a dealer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. That is wrong. Because, well, yes. It's not wrong. He disclosed it finally, but it's kind of bait and switch is what I meant. So, okay. So did you buy this as is? Of course you did, right?
I did.
How many miles on it? How many miles on it?
106.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible anymore with the Toyota. Okay. Listen. Tell me this.
Well, the total is $4,000 to repair it.
Wait a minute. How much did you pay?
I paid $6,500, and they wanted originally $8,800.
Oh man, how do you know it's going to be $4,000? Do you trust the person?
No, I ran. Yes, I ran it to our family mechanic, and
Okay.
we
Okay,
trust
good.
them. We had
So
them forever.
So you bought it for $6,500, and it's going to take $4,000 to fix it.
Correct.
And the $4,000, what are they going to do for the $4,000?
For the 4,000, they're going to be replacing the reservoir, the windshield reservoir. They're going to be placing the bushing mount. I don't recall the other
Now,
word.
did you get a Carfax
the
after
rear.
you bought it or before you bought it?
Before I bought it, I asked the dealer, "Did you run an inspection?"
So they actually gave you the Carfax.
Correct.
And
yes,
that Carfax does say there was an incident.
Yes, a minor incident. And
what does Carfax
the title
mean?
Is clean.
What does Carfax mean as a minor incident as opposed to an accident or collision? Do you know?
According to them, is that the title is not salvage, it's not rebuilt title, that they had. There wasn't major mechanical damage.
Vanessa, I think, unfortunately for you, they did the proper disclosure. They gave you the Carfax and you bought it anyway. You didn't have it checked out. This is on you, technically. This is on you. I mean, because you could have had your family mechanic look at it before you bought it. He would have said, Vanessa, this is going to be $6,500. $4,000 to fix. And you would have said, oh, forget it. So
yes,
now,
we looked at it, we drove it, and there were some.
Who's we?
My fiance and I. We drove it, we inspected, and I addressed the issues that were presented that we saw. And they said, well, it's an older car. I'm a mechanic. The most I see is that you'll need to do an alignment, and the rest of it is cosmetic. It's not mechanical.
Well,
he
was wrong.
Issues.
He was wrong. I mean, would your family mechanic? Your family mechanic's the one that found the $4,000 worth of work. That's where it should have gone. So, really, what is your fiance now that it's going to take $4,000 to fix it?
We were just asking the mechanic that sold it under another dealership.
What's the name of the dealership?
It's called Auto Beat Gallery.
Auto Beat?
The person that sold it is Auto Beat Dealership. And
okay. Do you have
dealership?
Did that dealer, as a licensed dealer, was supposed to give you a coupon good for 3 days to get your emissions? How did he handle the emissions?
How did he handle? I'm sorry.
How did he handle the emissions? Did you buy it in an emissions area?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, where's the car? Where's the car being? Where was it sold to?
The car, I took it.
Where was it sold to,
I took
dear?
it back in Denver.
Okay, so they were supposed to have an emissions for you, a window for you to get an emissions, and they probably did everything wrong. When you say you took it back, why would you do that? Now you don't have anything. You don't have the car and you don't have your money, do you?
No.
So why did you? Hold on, you took it back. So did you ask for your money back?
I did, and he refused, but he said he tried to amend the problem because he said that all those issues are just wear and tear. And I said, they are beyond wear and tear because it's a safety issue. And you told me that you guys
hold on.
ran an
If it was a safety issue, we could get it undone. But what safety issue? Give me a safety issue.
Okay, so with the bushing, I cannot control the car. It just it's like it sways out of the traffic lane. And in the snow the other day when I picked it up,
I understand that's not, that's not according to the law a safety issue that you're not gonna have any teeth with that. But we can call them. Deputy Doc, do you want to call over there to AutoBeat? You have a number for AutoBeat and who you talk to there?
I do. I had just left the house, and I have everything at the house.
Okay, here's what we'll do.
All that information.
Here's what we're going to do.
I'll call her later this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll call you later. Kelly, get Vanessa's information so Deputy Doc can call.
I just have one question. You took it out for a test drive, right, Vanessa?
Yeah.
I took it out for test
Did the car
drive,
sway?
and I saw some things
Wait,
that
did the car
concerned
sway when
me.
you took it out?
I'm sorry, say that?
You said that right now the car sways. You can't keep it in a lane. Did that happen when you took your test drive?
No, it did not. It just made like a rough, it just, I can't explain it. It just.
And your boyfriend
so
said,
rough. Like
your boyfriend
it was
said,
either the suspensions or
your boyfriend
the shock.
said it just needed an alignment, right?
No, that was the shop, the auto shop. Said because I said, I'm concerned with how it feels. I'm thinking maybe the shock, the suspension. Do we know anything? Because you're a mechanic. And he said, it's an older car. Listen, you might need to do.
This is before you bought it.
Correct. Before I bought it, he said, "I guarantee you, at the most."
Well, who is this making this guarantee? Was this your fiance?
No, this was the mechanic that sold it to the dealer.
Wait.
And I was disclosed after I bought it from the dealer.
Okay, so you were driving in it with the guy that was selling it. So it wasn't somebody who checked out the car. It was someone trying to sell it to you. And he said, I guarantee, blah, blah, blah. I wish you had a tape recording of that or a recording of that. Hold on. Get her information. Golly, people, I hear this. How many times? How many times do we hear this? I bought the car. Then I found out it's a piece of Shinola, whatever. Fill in the SH word you want. Why do you do this? Come on. Please. I know cars are hard to come by, but please. 303-713-TALK. What were you going to say, Doc? I mean, really? You're tired of handling them.
If it didn't sway when she test drove it, then why would the seller be responsible?
Listen, here's the point. You need to take it to someone independent to check this car out. That's why Norris has a good business called usedcarcheckout.com, SOS Inspections, usedcarcheckout.com. For goodness sakes, it really is heartbreaking. So if you have a problem, a question or complaint, give us a call. We'll try to help you. We're going to try to help Vanessa. We're going to try to put pressure on this dealer. Call us about any problem. And the last few weeks you've noticed that the contractor problems have gone down a bit and the car problems are coming up a bit. You notice that? We had mostly problems with contractors taking money and doing little or no work or disappearing. More coming up. We also have Kurt Rogers talking about the liquid loan.
So can you say it's a piece of Shit's Creek?
No, you can't say shit. Actually, they did. No, they did. You're right. They did on TV. They sure as hell did.
What's the name of the TV show?
I know, but hold on. But there were some TV shows and songs you can't mention the name of, like on Grammys. There were, let me think. Like what? There was some show called "Fuck This" or something like this. Fucking it, you can't say it. You know what amazes me is with the society we have now that doesn't give a shit about anything. Why they don't allow everything?
Exactly. It seems to get the shit about everything.
I'm glad they don't. But why don't they? Why? I mean, they don't care about anything. Everything goes. So when is that? When are they relax? The FCC.
You mean the 7 deadly words that George Carlin talks about?
He does talk about them.
If your workplace culture could use a new perspective, join Express Talks with Jessica Kriegel to create an intentional workplace culture.
So have you watching Snowfall, Tom?
No, I was looking for that the other night. I forgot the name. I'm looking for Snowman and Snowball and Snowball.
What, are you watching it?
Genesis.
Guys, I'm on the air. Genesis is a company you can trust for home improvements. Genesis is a company you can trust for solar. They can do basements, kitchens, baths, pop-tops, a new room. They can also do, of course, everything on the outside. Roofing, gutters, fences, decks, siding, windows, doors. And they can do solar. Give them a call. A company you can trust. Genesis. That's GenesisExteriors.com. 303-679-8509. Hey, One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the garage door company for you. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. That means if you have a problem with a garage door, don't hesitate to call them. They have 24/7 service for people who have emergencies, or they can fix any part of your door. The openers, they have great openers with Wi-Fi, battery backups, and all of that. Or, of course, they can do emergencies like broken springs where you can't get the door open. All of their prices fully disclosed on their website, oneclearchoicedoors.com, 720-370-3987.
Need duct fast?
Custom Duct Manufacturing is here to help.
We are a minority-owned small business, conveniently located right outside of Denver. We specialize in fabrication of rectangular duct and fittings.
Our high-quality, low-cost duct is carefully made by our outstanding employees who have over 2 generations of experience in the industry.
Not to mention, our lead time can't be beat. We can get the job done the same day and deliver it straight to you.
Visit us online at customductmfg.com or call 720-491-3410 for your free estimate today.
Did you know that there's more to mortgage refinance than just a lower rate? Well, it's true. You can also shorten your term. You could drop mortgage insurance, or you could even access some of your home equity as cash. That's what you ought to be doing right now by calling American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Michael Brown here, and I want you to call American Financing because several personal friends of mine work at American Financing. I want you to tell them that I sent you, and you'll get a free, no-obligation mortgage review. I promise you they're not going to pressure you, and they certainly won't charge any upfront or hidden fees. If you like what you hear from my friends, they'll design a custom loan to fit your budget and your needs. And they might help you skip 2 payments if you want to do that. So why not call? Ask for anyone who's a friend of Michael Brown, and they'll get you started in only 10 minutes. Give them a call. Ask for anyone that used to work with me, and you can pre-qualify for free when you call 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or visit online, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Man, I am happy to tell you about the only realtor that made the cut for Team Dave Logan, and that is Troy Hansford. I recommend Troy because he's the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. And the good news, he puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project. Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy by being particular, just like you. 800-362-8370.
Hi, it's Wes Moss, host of the new show, Retire Sooner.
You can tune in Sundays at 11 a.m. I'll be covering the most important financial and lifestyle habits for a happy retirement. Retire sooner with me, Wes Moss, Sundays at 11 a.m.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Premier Window Washing. Do you know who they are? You hear me talk about them like my sons. Two young men out of high school started this company. The best prices, the best quality, and they're great. They do window washing and pressure washing or window cleaning. Premier Window Cleaning Services. Their website's kind of long. I got to help them out with that. PremierWindowCleaningDenver.org. PremierWindowCleaningDenver.org for the best prices. They do a thorough job, and when you have them do your home, they will do every piece of glass on the inside, including mirrors and glass tops, whatever. 303-564-5574. Residential and commercial. And you will love their prices. Get the quotes. Tyler and Nick. PremierWindowCleaningDenver.org. 303-564-5574. 564-5574. So, Kurt Rogers, we were talking about the responsibility of lenders. And without getting into specifics on court cases, though, this one guy was really pissed off, and we called you about it. We also called other real estate people, and we think his real estate person and his lender both dropped the ball. Let's talk about this. And I'm talking to people now looking for real estate. When you get a contract, there's going to be a number of deadlines in that contract. And if you don't meet those deadlines, you will lose your earnest money, meaning you have to get loan approval. You have to get certain things done. They went past their loan approval deadline and then found out their loan was not approved. Their lender knew and had a copy of the contract, and so did their buyer agent. They knew. You would think the seller agent would be on the phone, except I think the seller's agent thought, hell, let it expire. We'll keep the earnest money, and we can sell it for more with the way the market's doing right now. So maybe it wasn't and the seller had no obligation to talk to the buyer. But the buyer's agent let them down. Don't you think, Kurt? And don't you think the lender let him down?
Yeah, I think both parties let him down. Right?
But do you think the lender truly had a fiduciary responsibility? Because the lender was simply not his lender yet, right? They just took an application. Could they argue, hey, man, we're not his lender yet. We're just processing an application. Why should we be responsible for his loan approval deadline? Or do they take on that responsibility when they take it on? I don't know.
When you become a mortgage broker in the state of Colorado, you have a fiduciary responsibility by law to that consumer.
You do?
Yes, you do. You cannot mislead them. You can't give them incorrect. You have to protect their money. You can't put them into a home as a primary when you know they're going to turn it into an investment. You have a fiduciary responsibility to that loan to both the seller and the buyer. And that's part of the licensing.
So you feel that he should have kept track of that loan deadline and been right on top of it?
Yes, most
and definitely the buyer broker, for God's sakes, they have a fiduciary. That buyer broker, in my opinion, is more culpable.
Yeah, because he could lose the compensation on it and lose as the agent.
Right, but he has his own buyer with him. He submits a contract. He knows the buyer isn't approved yet, and we're coming up on deadline. So I think that buyer's agent, I'd sue him too. If I was this guy, I'd sue that buyer's agent as well. Now, let's talk to Michael. Michael, what's happening, sir?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I had called the station because one of my friends had recommended me to you guys.
Okay.
Help. And the current situation that I'm facing is I'm a soldier in the United States military.
Okay.
Sergeant Burke. And so me and my spouse we had some problems going on and everything else. And we had separated almost 2 years ago, and we're filing for divorce, and she served me with some papers, but she's requesting that I have absolute no parental rights, like, for my daughter.
Why?
And basically, throw me under the bus because of my job, especially with being in the military and stuff like that.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with being a father? Wait, Michael, how many kids do you have?
I have one child. Her name's
And
Natalia.
you've been separated for 2 years. During the separation, were you deployed?
So I have been deployed once, yes, but also I've taken 4 trips in the past 2 years to go out to see them. But
where do they live? Where do they live?
They live in California, in Corona, California.
Where were you when? Is she filing a divorce there?
Yes. So she's filing a divorce from California.
Where were you married? Where were you married?
In New York State when I was stationed there about 4 years ago.
And she claims jurisdiction now in California.
Yes. Well, the thing is, though, Tom, is that she has traveled numerous amounts of times in the state from house to house with her friends and living with her grandmother, but her grandmother became sick, then going back to her friends. And she had also taken a trip out to Germany that I allowed because I saw the inconsistency and unstabilization in households.
Hey, Michael, Michael, what is she proposing? That you give up your rights totally?
So she's requesting that she has sole and physical custody, 100% of my daughter, and that that I would only be permitted supervised visits if she's there.
That's ridiculous.
But there's absolutely no history of us having like any sort of domestic violence problems and stuff like that. But
well, she's not claiming that, is she?
No.
Okay, good. Hold on, Michael. Okay, I want to get you some help. And I also want to get the other people on the line some answers. Hang on.
Well, she can request anything she wants, right, Tom? I mean,
but he needs help.
We are seeing a good drive
Kelly,
down I-25.
Rich Harris Family Law. I don't know if you heard anything.
C470 area.
Not on this.
25 traffic
What?
up to full speed as well. About 10 minutes now.
Oh, not on this? Oh,
you're on the
but I was on it. You took me up.
No, I didn't change the network.
No, I really was. Look, I'm going to show you. Look.
Yeah.
Watch.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how that happened. Mother.
I don't know. Okay. Make sure you come up on it and get that app going again and shit and tell it to start it. All right. Well, okay, but I got a red line down here for it. Wide area unavailable. Cannot be accessed through the WAN. Okay, fine. I'm trying to get it in the wire.
Use a new perspective. Join Express Talks with Jessica Kriegel to create an culture. This free virtual event is March 30th, hosted by Express Employment Professionals. Register at expresspro.com/expresstalks.
Hey, David Ellis Jewelry is in Cherry Creek, 3rd and Clayton. So he's been there like 40 years or been in town 40 years. It's a name you can trust. That's the short message, because people looking to sell gold and silver and platinum and old jewelry, tangled messes, mismatched earrings, broken watches, coin collections, they want someone they can trust. I advise you never send it to someone on the internet, and you never meet people that come through town in hotel rooms. What you do is go to someone, a trusted name like David Ellis, 3rd and Clayton. Now, he will buy it on the spot, and he's honest and open about what he will pay. You don't have to take it, no obligation. Check him out, 3rd and Clayton. Now, if you want to give him a call, 303-322-8779, DavidEllisJewelry.com. The Art of Granite. The name says granite, but Mitch Floria at the Art of Granite will do any countertops you want, whether man-made or natural stone. He's a direct stone importer. That's why he passes along all materials at wholesale price to you. He doesn't even charge for the tearing out and hauling away of the old stuff, nor does he charge for the bathroom vanity when you do the kitchen. So, all you have to do is call him and get a price on the phone for whatever you want. TheArtOfGranite.com. He would love to give you a quote on the phone. 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919. While on the topic of loans, reverse loans come up, and reverse loans can be good for some people 62 or older with equity, and they even have products that now have jumbo loans and approval reverse. Joan Sullivan has been with me for years. You can trust her to guide you through it, to give you the counseling and help you select the right reverse loan if you choose to go that way. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528.
It's replacement window season. If your windows are...
I know we have Blake. I wanted Rich Harris, but hold on. Now, if Blake's on, I'm going to use him for another question we had. What was that question that Blake had? Okay.
Champion builds their own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy.
I'm glad you got Blake Harris. I did want Rich Harris, but I'm going to use Blake for a question I had anyway yesterday that Sue's probably forgot to tell you. So get Rich Harris to Harris Family Law when you can.
Or else Bonnie.
Good, that's what I want. Right. But I have another one I wanted too. This is all good. All right, thank you.
Plus 60 months low interest financing options. Visit championsavenow.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. All discounts apply while regular prices. Select time supply. In-home purchase supplier subject to qualifying items.
I should have known you don't make mistakes.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67, 70, or when? What about benefits for a divorced or surviving spouse? So many questions, and Social Security will not give you the answers. I'm Mike Whitmore with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free Social Security class on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com, that's registercolorado.com, or call 720-488-8604.
By giving partial
That's
aid to Ukraine, we're actually prolonging suffering.
Hey, I'm in.
And death.
If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous.
If we're not committed to keeping Russia out of there,
the idea for Harry's
Russia should get in there and take over and stabilize so people don't die and suffer.
Over-designed and out of touch.
I mean, think about that.
I think he's wrong, but he's right.
Well, okay, but what I mean is, what is he wrong? I understand, but he's kind of right in that if we're not really helping, we're not going to. We all know we're just delaying the inevitable. We're delaying the inevitable.
I don't think so.
You think you can actually stave them off?
I think that they will come to some kind of an agreement.
Give us a try with this.
That Ukraine won't join NATO, that those two provinces will be independent,
and a travel cover, all for just $3.
I think that's just going to happen.
Just go to harrys.com.
I don't think by letting Russia take over
summit?
I don't think by letting Russia take over Ukraine, we're doing the Ukrainians any favors.
Enjoy.
So I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, and he shouldn't be censored for saying it.
Oh, no. And I don't know if he was saying he likes the idea of Russia taking over. I think he was saying if we're not really going to help them, this half-assed help may not be good.
Well, I mean, I don't agree with it.
As much as I honestly dislike the sound of Tucker Carlson's voice, the look on his face, and most of what comes out of his mouth.
Don't sugarcoat.
I like him.
He's a white equivalent of Don Lemon.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Claims Pro is a public adjuster. You know how we feel about public adjusters. Always use a public adjuster in any of your cases involving any kind of property or casualty loss in your home. Claims Pro, you can reach Peter at his Denver office, publicadjuster.pro, publicadjuster.pro, 833-252-4600, 833-252-4600. Now let's talk. All right, Michael, we're getting you some legal help, so hang on. The veteran who needs help there. Blake Harris, attorney at law, I want to bring up now. Blake, thank you very much, sir. I wanted to ask you something, Blake. We have Amy on the line who wants to talk about something, but I need to ask you something that came up yesterday as well. If somebody inherits a house with a beneficiary deed, goes straight to them, or a certificate or a deposit, what is that called? The beneficiary deposit form, whatever. When you have a bank account that automatically goes to you. When this happens, what is it called, sir?
It's a transfer on death designation or beneficiary designation.
Thank you. Thank you. When you have these things, are you still required to pay any debts of the estate?
So if there's any tax debt, yes. Otherwise, you don't have to search out the creditors, but the creditors can come back for up to 1 year and open a probate. Unless it's a very large debt, thousands of dollars, it's unlikely any creditor will actually do that.
But if they do, they could claw back some money?
They could, for
now,
up to 1 year after this.
Amy's problem works right into that. Amy called in, and Amy lost her husband recently with heavy medical debt. Is that right, Amy?
Yes.
And he had insurance, but let's just say you amass a certain amount of co-pays and debt. Whatever it is, let's just say you amass the debt. Whatever it is, it would be a hardship for you. Now, you want to know, you were on the house and you automatically inherited the house, right of survivor, right? And you automatically took over bank accounts and everything. You did not open probate. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Does he have anything else that would have required probate? Nothing. He doesn't own anything. You didn't have to title anything in your name. It was all automatically transferred, right?
Well, everything was either titled together or in my name.
And the stuff and the stuff
that was together and just became mine. Cars were together; they became mine.
Right, got it. Now, when it came to bank accounts, did he have any in his own name?
He had one bank account that was solely in his name, but that has since been closed out and the money withdrawn from that account since he's passed.
And did he leave a certificate? Did he give you a beneficiary certificate for that account?
No, that was it was a surprise account. It was like a rainy day account that he had started, that it was after he passed that I found out about.
And did you go in after he passed and take the money out?
Yes. There was like a whole process
that
I had to go through with them.
Got it. And that didn't require Blake, that didn't require probate, right, for Blake?
Correct. There's a beneficiary designation, no probate.
So what should she do? Is she obligated to advertise for, since she didn't have to open probate, everything reverted to her, or not reverted, but transferred to her, then should she just sit tight and in a year she's clear?
Exactly. Sit tight. Hopefully nothing arises. If 1 year passes from his date of death, you are in the clear.
Now, if she had signed for any medical treatment, if they said to her, hey, Amy, would you sign here, would that have changed things?
Oh, sure. I mean, then she would still be liable for anything.
But Jose, so Amy, he's saying that creditors have a 1 year window to open up probate and collect debt, and they almost never do it. Now, if you have any more questions, you can hang on. Blake Harris, attorney at law, 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE for any of your questions like this. You've heard me talk about...
Yes, sir. I'm just let's say he owed, he had a bill with Nordstrom for $100, whatever it is. And they call up and say, we want to collect the bill. And is she obligated to let them know he passed away, or can she just ignore the phone call?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't think she's obligated to tell him if she's not signed on the account. I mean, why would she be?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just, figuring it out. Payable on death certificate. I don't know why I couldn't say that. That's what I meant to say.
Before you even sell your old one, or to change into a cash box so you can win in a competitive market.
Oh, how's my phone doing?
I'm still trying to figure this shit out. Yours is definitely different from mine.
Okay.
It's not.
But if you can do it, and once you do it, it might be cool if we can.
I think we could actually get this to work. I'm going to keep fooling around.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
I really need to know how to trick
Radio station available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcast, all in one.
ABC News, I'm Alex Perez. President Biden at the White
I
House
agree with
is
you
thanking
on
Ukrainian President Zelensky for his impassioned
Thank you.
speech before
I
Congress
think
today.
eventually
Russian
they'll get
forces
something.
step up attacks.
Putin's
The president
looking
announced
like
the
an
U.S.
idiot.
is sending more military and humanitarian
He's going to get important. He's going to have the only way to get any kind of face out of this is come to some kind of
Right.
conclusion.
I think that's his out. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
But then I also think what Tucker Carlson is saying from the humanitarian point of view makes sense. We're either in or out. We're either in or we're out. And if we're not in, then we are prolonging. Everybody that should be helping, that's not helping, or could be helping, that would help, would end this. It would, Russia isn't going to go to war with the world.
We're in it more than anybody else, so everybody else doesn't have to get in.
Exactly.
And Biden wants it that way because he's trying to raise the numbers. I think that's part of it. He's got to. Anytime a president goes to war, they always win.
Can we not take? Yeah.
It's just. So get past that part with what's going on. Putin's wrong. The world knows it's wrong. He's an idiot. China can't help him as much as he would really like.
And because they look like it.
He's causing a problem with oil. He's not making as much money. What his big game plan was is kind of blowing up in his face. How do you take the second most powerful army in the world and let a country like Ukraine put you on your knees because you can't take over a city? You can't take over.
Well, what it shows is that the Russian army is really no threat to NATO. That he will. This will prove that he will never ever rule the world. No, he will never ever engage NATO, because if one medium country can give him this much trouble, imagine what 27 countries in NATO will be able to do to the Russian armed forces.
And you don't think China would join with that?
If what?
Against NATO, China and Russia.
I know because they will. I don't think they have any vested interest in Russia. China, one of my friends was doing business in China years ago, and he's talking to one of these Chinese moguls. And the guy said, "Look, we don't want to destroy you. We want to own you." China wants the Western world to be their market, to keep their economy flourishing. They have no desire to see the West destroyed. And
they want to own you. They don't necessarily want to take them over.
Right. They want us to continue buying their
Not necessarily ruin you.
That's what he said.
They want to own you and touch you out free range.
And so
that's how we keep our billions fed.
Right. If Russia was to engage NATO, it would be over in a week. Because look what Ukraine did. If you have 27 NATO countries against Russia, this is proving to him that he cannot engage NATO. There is absolutely no way that the Russian armed forces could engage NATO.
Well, he says he's going. People say he's going on after this.
He won't.
10 inches of accumulation possible through noon tomorrow.
And he certainly is not going to engage any NATO country.
Because we're going to see a lot of rain first before this transitions over to snowfall. So we'll keep an eye on the National Weather Service as Denver between 2 and 8 inches. So
you could not have anyone more incompetent in the White House. And this fucker was 4 years in the Senate.
But look what we did. Look what we did in either Serbia or Iraq. What's the first thing we did in Kuwait and Iraq? You send in your air force.
That's a lot of idiots.
Taking real plane, huh?
No, not carpet bombing. You send in your air force to destroy their communication and their radar. So that way you can answer. The Russians couldn't even do that. They couldn't go in and destroy Ukraine's communications and radar centers. What?
Why is it their Air Force? Why is it the Russian Air Force over that country?
Because they're afraid of the Stinger missiles and the anti-aircraft missiles that Ukraine has.
I-70 is same situation now.
They don't have any stealth bombers.
They don't want to look any worse.
They're not looking real good right now.
And they don't want to look any worse.
31 pinpoint weather, a high of 54 today. Rain turning
The Ukrainian people are like the people from Israel. The whole country goes to war. Not just the army, it's the whole country. That's why Japan didn't want to attack us.
What do you mean?
Years ago, because they knew that the whole country, they had tons of
You mean Well, for 141, yeah. But they did attack us.
But they attacked us there. They knew that the biggest problem was going to be if they ever came to the mainland. Since the whole country was fighting.
No, there's no country that can invade the United States, because if you have an armada coming across the ocean, number one, it will be discovered, and number two,
That's what he said. That's
no,
why
but I'm telling
that's why they
you, but
attacked.
now, right? There's no way that any country that the United States will ever be invaded.
Geographically, we are set better than any country in the world.
Right.
And
Except for
having,
nuclear weapons, then it does.
Well, right.
and having a gun
But what I'm saying,
at 9 out of 10 houses
we can never be invaded.
is on our side.
Because our Navy and our Air Force are
Our
too strong,
population is
and will
generally
destroy
armed.
any armada that is
Generally armed.
It takes days to cross the ocean.
Ain't nobody coming over here.
I agree.
Ain't nobody coming over here. It's like
They don't want it.
It's like going into the. It's like police going into the wrong part of the damn ghetto.
No, I think we'd all,
really don't.
if somebody tried something like that, we'd all be out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, we would.
I think we
Well, no, hold on.
not all.
No, I know there's some fucking crazy people in this country that say, put on your mask and hide, from the dust.
But not enough of them. I mean,
Look at
literally.
what happened to our hippie generation. They're fucking touting big pharma and big government.
Which one?
Oh, every fucking one of them. Now, you weren't a hippie, man. Were you?
I was a tail.
I was a fucking radical, and I still am.
I
And
was
the other ones.
I,
Oh, big pharma, stop! Go help us. Tell us what to do. Control us. Rule us. We don't want to think on our own.
Too much work.
those are the wrong. I don't know.
I am so ashamed.
Those are not
I
the
am
movies
so
I
ashamed of the people of the people of my generation. I'm so ashamed of them.
Those are not the
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. We have all kinds of things going on, so I'm going to get right to it because we have some experts on the line. And Amy, I think we answered your questions. Your husband died, and of course, you know, our heart goes out to you. We've talked about that before. You're dealing with the economic stuff. You had bank accounts automatically transferred to you. And the house was automatically transferred to you. Everything that was joint is automatically yours. And now you're wondering about medical bills trickling in. And as Blake Harris says, if you did not sign for those bills, you're not required to pay those bills. And you didn't have to open up probate, so they would have to open up probate. Did you have any additional questions, Amy? He says they have a year to do that, and most always they don't.
Okay, I was just, curious. So is that a year from, like, the date of his passing, or is that a year from the date that I received the medical bill?
Blake?
From his passing, 1 year from the date of his death.
Is she obligated to let them know? How do they find out if one of their creditors die?
If somebody who owes them money.
Not a creditor, I'm sorry. One of their, one of the people that owe them money, yeah.
Got it. I mean, they can search newspaper publications. They might search obituaries. They may be checking the Department of Vital Records. I'm not exactly sure.
But you don't have to make it, Blake, you don't have to make it easy on him is what you're saying.
So I'm not obligated to call and say, hey, he's passed.
No. And Blake, another question. I often hear family doctrine bantered about. Even though you didn't sign for something, they say it's the benefit of the family, therefore you're hooked.
This is not true. There's no doctrine in probate that I am that I've ever heard of.
Good.
I mean, I've heard of it in other areas of law, but
in bankruptcy, sometimes they do that, Blake. They say, yeah, it might have been in your husband's name and not in your name, or not, but it benefited the whole family. Yeah. All right, so Blake, thank you so much. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE for estate-related questions. And as we said, then he quotes you up front if you want to hire him, flat rates, and whatever he has to do for you, he'll tell you what it'll cost. Now, Rich Harris, another Harris, they're not related. What are the chances two of our experts, both attorneys, both named Harris? Now, this is the Harris Law Firm for family law. Rich, thank you for being here. And we had some questions for you. and this is kind of a sad situation. Michael, being a veteran, not a veteran, he's an active military guy. They were separated for 2 years, he and his wife, and then he recently got served, and she says, I want a divorce. Now, by the way, they were married in New York. He was stationed there. Were separated for 2 years. She has migrated to California. She's in California. She opened divorce in California, served him in Colorado, now is asking for 100% sole custody with no visitation except for supervised visits by her only. Now, he said he's never had a problem with the child. They've never had domestic violence. They've never had any kind of problem. Will the court simply grant it for the asking? What does he have to do to fight this thing, Rich?
Sure. Well, Tom, first of all, thanks for having me on. And Michael, if you're on, thank you for your service. We always like helping veterans or service members where possible. We're all indebted to you. Sorry for what you're going through. So the short answer, based on what little I've heard, Michael, is no, I can't imagine that your wife is going to be able to get sole custody with only supervised visits and only supervised by her. That would be exceedingly rare. You have to have really extreme circumstances, first of all, just to get your visit supervised. And even in those cases where it happens, for the other parent to be the supervisor, I've never seen that, and I would never allow any of my clients to agree to that.
Yep. Yeah, so the situation was in general, and I've only been able to see my daughter 4 or 5 times in the past 2 years. But that's also been because we had our daughter March 29th of 2020. And since then, due to the fact of COVID and everything else, also with the military, with military travel and restrictions, and also trying to maintain, a military career, but she has been constantly and consistently going from her friends living there to going to living with her mom in Arizona, and then traveling from state to state and not even working with me to come and bring my daughter to me.
Now, Michael, hold on a second. One thing is for sure, I don't think they're going to get you for abandonment because of your situation being a soldier and with COVID. So I don't think you have to worry about that. Now, as far as bringing kids to you, I don't think you can demand that. But, Rich...
No, but
go ahead.
To work with her on at least splitting the financial aspect of that.
I don't know. I know she doesn't have to do that. I don't think so. Rich, I might be talking out of school. I think when it comes to diversity of residences, it's all on the parent, isn't it?
Well, if you're talking about whose burden is it to travel to see the child, Tom?
Yes.
So, yeah, typically it's going to be on the parent who is not in the child's home state. Now, to me, based on what you told me, I'm not sure where the home state is. We can talk about that. But Michael's not too far off. That doesn't mean the mother can't have just some shared responsibility for the travel.
Okay.
Yes, because we still have been currently married. It's just due to the fact of traveling outside of the state, depending on training and stuff like that. That was the only reason, and that's why I was trying to work with her, even for that option.
Okay, so what does he do now? You have to answer that. You were served, right, Michael?
Yes, on Friday, yes.
Michael, I would call Harris Family Law immediately. Now, the good thing about Rich and his team, they do unbundled services. So let's say right now you don't know what to do, and all you want to do is answer that complaint and oppose that and give a good reason. You can hire them to do just that. You can take it one step at a time. And maybe the answer would be, does she have an attorney, Michael?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Maybe she's not expecting you to have one. Now, I don't know this or not, Rich, and maybe you know, Michael. Do you get JUD help or JUG help, in the service for divorce or not?
So there is legal services to look into, but obviously from a stamp, like they can't help me out or they can't represent me in a civilian courtside situation.
Okay. So, Michael, you're going to have to seek counsel at least to answer this complaint.
Yes. So my
and the answer could be, Michael, sorry to interrupt you. Your answer might be that Colorado does not have jurisdiction. And our firm or another good firm can help you with that piece.
You mean California doesn't have jurisdiction?
So she filed in California and served him in Colorado. Is that the case, Tom?
Yes.
Yes, but she has been traveling also within the past 6 months outside of the country, visiting her mom for the past 6.5 months. 7 months.
You could make the argument. You could make the argument that what Rich is saying, that California shouldn't be the place to put further burden on you.
Right. Okay, and you might need California.
Go ahead, Rich.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, Michael. You might need a California attorney to do that, Michael. And we can steer you in that direction, and we can also talk to you more about talking to your local JAG office, your military office.
Yeah, so, Michael, just at least touch base with Rich, and I'm going to give you some numbers here. Rich Harris, it's harrisfamilylaw.com. And, Kelly, make sure Michael gets this and that we follow up with him. 303-515-5000, 303-515-5000. That's harrisfamilylaw.com.
No spots in break. You're good.
Did you say no spots? Okay. I don't know. That sounds good. Okay, so
I eat a bowl of cranberry honey nut toasted oats every morning because my whole goal is to start each day with tons of energy.
did you come? Did you stop working on that?
No, I'm still sitting over here looking at both.
Just wondering if you.
I haven't won yet.
You got yours up and running fast.
Well, Androids operate different from iPhones. They do.
iPhone, everything's more difficult. Well, actually, it's just the opposite. Everything's either more easier or more difficult depending on who does it. Because the world centers around iPhone when it comes to apps normally. I mean, it really does. Most apps come out for iPhone first. They do.
Okay.
I mean, it's amazing that they do.
Most apps come out for iPhone first. More apps actually come out, I believe, for Android. It is an open operating system.
Oh, I don't know. It might be because there's more manufacturers. You mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can do things.
now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio.
If you hand me an iPhone, I can do nothing but make a call with it. But if you hand me an Android, I can pretty much run an AT&T data center.
Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research
Because
iPhones are pretty damn good.
Oh, everything is great for everybody.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline inward nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes.
Heaven, hell, there is immigration law. Hell has open borders.
Snore less and stay healthy. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
People think Christians are narrow-minded anyhow.
I was talking to a deacon buddy of mine last night, and he's checking on me to make sure I'm okay with what's about to go down and all this stuff. And Greg said, right out of my head, when it comes back, it'll come back.
I just say when it gets out there, it's like it's rolling around. It'll find its way home.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to say it.
It'll find its way home. I get that. Happens to me all the time.
home, servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. PlumlineServices.com.
Wesley had IRS troubles.
That's like Cherry Creek High School coming out with no more valedictorian.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
2 years, you're not going to have a
Optima Tax
valedictorian.
Relief came through
Really?
in flying colors.
Interesting.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. Optima Tax Relief. Details visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's replacement window season. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bill, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is here to help. Right now, Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion built their own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We can build your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and is all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space and a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new siding. Now 30% off. Don't wait, this sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off.
This is what I don't get.
60 months, low
And I'm saying it's square up different. With 2 different apps here, they're supposed to be doing the same thing.
Right.
When I come to this iPhone app and put my IP and port in the browser, it literally pops up and says, "Hey man, here's your camera. How do you want to run it?"
When you do Android, you mean?
Huh?
When you do Android?
Yeah.
But when you do mine, it doesn't.
When I do mine, it says can't find it. Okay. Although I'm looking at the IP, I'm in the network, it's all there.
You can't find it.
It shows up as a 404 somehow. I mean, that's my camera. This is the info. When I put that info in, like first popped up here, put it in the browser. Now I have a whole configuration screen for this camera.
But on mine, it doesn't.
Now, but still, even though I have this whole configuration screen, when I go to tell vMix to pick it up, vMix says again, then I'm not sure that that's what I want to do. It just doesn't do it. Right? I'm working on it, trying to figure it out.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. WaterPros.net has the best water systems at the lowest prices, and I can say that about anyone because plumbing companies charge like $8,000 or more to soften water in a home. WaterPros can do it for under $2,000, fully installed for the entire house for better plumbing, better laundry, better skin, better all-around experience. WaterPros.net. WaterPros.net. Look that up. You'll love them. Now,
713-TALK. Beverly, what's going on with you, Beverly? Welcome. Yeah, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you very much. What's going on with you?
A carpet that was kind of leaned up against the edge of the door jamb. I didn't see, and I tripped on it and fell.
did you notify them immediately?
Yes. My daughter went in and told them that I had fallen. They came out and grabbed the rug that I tripped over and took it back in before I could get my cell phone out and take a picture of it. But I
well, are they? Hold on. Okay, so you're 81 and you were injured, and it was a rug. And what did you do after that?
I had to call paramedics to get me up off the ground for the first thing. And I ended up going to the hospital on Monday. And
this happened how long ago?
2 months ago today.
Okay, so then you went to the hospital, then what?
Well, between hospital and rehab, I was in there for a week. And I've been doing home physical therapy ever since. And
okay,
living with a lot of pain in the meantime.
Okay, you didn't have any pain before this?
Not before I fell.
Okay. And Beverly, what else have you done? Did you call Winchell's at all?
Yes, I've been in contact with the manager there. And he said, well, I'll have to get a hold of corporate, but I've never heard from anybody.
So you don't know if they've even reported it. Okay.
No.
And
it's a franchise. So.
I understand that. Now, I will tell you that slips and falls are some of the hardest personal injury cases to collect or to prosecute and to sue on, because first and foremost, it has to be a dangerous condition that people know about. They have to be aware of it and refuse to address it. And it has to be a significant injury. So I want to ask you, Beverly, and this is a really basic question. What do you want? You called us. Obviously, there's something you want. Do you want something from Winchell's? Do you think you deserve something from Winchell's? Is Medicare taking care of your medical bills, or are you out of pocket? Explain your situation to me.
I've got 3 bills that are out of pocket. Basically, ambulance bills.
Why won't Medicare pay for that? Why won't Medicare pay for that?
They paid part of it, but they didn't pay all of it.
Oh, so how much out of pocket are you in total for this entire injury?
Oh, out of pocket, that's not what's really bothering me.
Well, I need to know, though. How much are you out of pocket for these 3 bills?
Oh, I don't have them right here on me. I would say probably right around $100.
Oh, wait,
but,
that's
like
total. That's total, right? All 3 bills, $100?
Yeah, there's just partial on the ambulance bills and 1 doctor bill.
No, I get it. So you said that, but that's not really what's bothering you. So tell me what's really bothering you.
Having to go through this pain and suffering for 2 months with being ignored.
Okay.
I've been in that level 10 pain for almost 2 months.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
I'm still walking with a cane and a walker.
Okay, and what is the prognosis?
Well, they said it'll probably take, my physical therapist says it'll probably take at least another month to get this hematoma on my knee to go away.
Okay, so what do you think, Beverly? Listen, I don't know how to say this other than to say it. We have to get right down to what you want. I mean, we have to that's what it's all about. So what exactly would make you feel better? What would make, and I don't mean pain-wise, I mean, what would you consider justice at this point? At 81 years old, in pain, after a fall, you're going to be in pain maybe a total of 2 or 3 or 4 months, or discomfort. What do you think?
Well, I'm not trying to put it, put anybody in a bind, but I'd say $2,000 or $3,000 at least for the pain.
Okay. Now, Beverly, that's not crazy. That's not crazy. Now, the question is, do they owe you anything for the pain? They may take a position they don't. What I don't like, though, is that you've not heard from anyone. So what we'd like to do is call our personal injury expert and have him weigh in on it and see what he has to say about it. Now, here's the problem. If you don't have serious medical condition or serious pain, and I mean lifelong pain, or substantial pain, you're not going to get an attorney to take this on contingency because there are not enough damages. You understand?
Yeah, I've talked to several already.
And I'll bet you they said they can't help you, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Same thing my mom came across. She was in her 80s, and she had an incident with a chicken bone in a fillet, or in the boneless chicken, and it was in a prepared dinner or something, and she had real damages to a denture and all of that. But they said, you're in your 80s and your dentures are old and you're in pain, but it's not permanent. It's going to be fixed. You have insurance to fix it. What do we owe you? In other words, I hate to break it down like that, but that's what they say. You know, now I think 2 or 3 or 4 months of pain is worth something, especially when you're older. And the only reason you're in pain is because these idiots kept, bunched up the rug. It was right where your foot caught it, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, and let's try to get our personal injury expert, John Fuller, just to address this in general.
This is Denver's talk station. About a minute. In the morning. And Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30, KHOW, Denver. Now, impact traffic.
What if they give you anything for the pain?
Protect your privacy for free with
They treat you the pain at all.
We're seeing pretty good drive times here in the metro area. Southbound I-25 between 120th and I-70, 10 minutes, no delay. If you're traveling further south from downtown to C470 or Castle Rock, no reported delay either. Northbound I-25 looking good. All our major
It's unlikely though that she's got a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale.
On westbound 270 crossing Vasquez.
I know, but as you get older, I think your tolerance goes down. Maybe. Mine goes up, but mine went up. What I used to consider a lot of pain, I'm just so fucking used to things.
Tomorrow, a mix of rain and snow, a high of 39. Currently, it's 52. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 6:30. Hey, how?
I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a...
Class come out soon?
All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
You still trying to do it? Rocky Mountain IV Medics.com. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. The people that come to me once a month or maybe
a little more often than that now to give me IV therapy. You can get hydration therapy without going to a hydration bar, without going to urgent care. For the same price as a normal hydration bar, not much at all. You can get them at your home or office. We even have people that meet them at truck stops, truckers, and people who want to feel better because that's what hydration therapy does. It's got a concoction to make you feel better whether you have the flu or you just want vitamins or hydration. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. They dispatch like rideshare, so you can get same-hour appointments. Call or text this number, 720-987-2155, 720-987-2155. You heard me talk about the Art of Granite. I've known Mitch Flair for many years now. They do countertops of all kinds, natural stone or man-made material. And they will give you a quote on the phone. Tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. All materials are wholesale to you. You won't do better and you won't have a more pleasant experience than the Art of Granite, especially getting a price on the phone. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
There are You're still working on that?
I'm still messing with it.
Okay.
I figure out why it's not doing what I wanted to do. This one won't connect at all. This one only connects partially. Phoenix hates them both.
That's your specialty.
I know.
That's why I hire people.
I hear you. With Phoenix, I have a setup at home, and Phoenix doesn't like my cameras at home, so I'm really not shocked. Oh.
Supposed to get a good wet snow tonight.
Yeah, I hate wet snow.
Yeah, but this time of year you get them. You get 1 or 2 of them.
I know. Wet snow breaks my back.
That's when you have to shovel 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Take it in pieces.
Yeah.
Because you don't take it once. And snowblowers, a lot of them don't work well in the heavy wet snow. Yeah. Can't throw it out of the hole fast enough.
He ends up with a clump of ice in the hole.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
we must have the same blower.
Well, the answer is live in a condo where the HOA takes care of it.
Yeah. And your neighbors come knocking on your door telling you to turn down.
Well, our neighborhood, I have one, and the guy across the street has a medium-sized one. But there's 4 of the guys got the big Mongo ones. So they just come out and do the whole neighborhood. 6 houses on this side, 6 houses on this side, all the driveways.
We've got a couple of neighbors that are like that. Scott's really good. He'll, if he's up before everybody else and he goes out there, he'll go the length of the block.
Who's God?
My neighbor.
Oh.
He'll go the length of the block.
It's fun.
Yeah. The guy at the corner, if he's in town, he goes the length of the block. My neighbor on my left, he'll go around the corner because he's on the corner, coming down the block, and he'll go 2 houses down. Because him and the house down.
They don't get along, so he's not helping that neighbor.
Yeah, so he's not going quite that.
Love that neighbor, not this one.
Yeah. So as far as, most things go, the guys with the big ones, they generally just do the whole block, so nobody's got to show.
You're not giving up the ghost yet. So what does it say? Connect. Okay, and you can't.
Okay. Watch. This is, you won't put it in here now.
Yeah.
855
You can't even get it on the computer, let alone on the email.
Exactly. No, thank you. This is what Phoenix wants.
I'm going to go.
Okay. Phoenix says.
No, I mean that you can't even get it on the computer.
That's 401 unauthorized. Yeah. Now, my camera does this when I tell it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It comes up and it gives me a whole configuration.
On the computer.
On the computer. Okay. This is like I'm telling the
But
browser.
did you put my ID into a browser?
I'm about to do that.
That'll happen.
No, it's not. That's what I'm telling you. So if I go with your ID,
that has 30 years of qualified experience live with advanced mud jacking. We use cement, nothing toxic. Call me. I'll evaluate your problem and provide a fair, competitive bid at 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudJackingAtYahoo.com.
Dell's semi-annual sale delivers unmatched productivity and play. Right now, save what Dell employees save with 17% on XPS and select Alienware computers powered by Intel Core processors. Visit Dell.com/semi-annual sale or call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
I wonder if I can hook you up with the Apple just for the hour. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller is our personal injury expert
who gives people advice every single day when they call him for help without obligation. Of course, if he takes your case, it's on contingency. And we're going to talk to him, and then I'll give you his number at the end in case you ever have similar questions. But I know John told me one time, slip and falls are, he's the Auto King expert when it comes to traffic accidents and trucks and motorcycles and all that stuff. But he says as you get into other personal injury, they're not necessarily clear-cut and they're difficult. And I think I remember you saying, John, at one time, that premises liability, slips and falls, are difficult, aren't they?
Yes, sir, they are.
And why are they difficult?
So keep in mind that when we deal with a car accident case, the legal standard is just one of negligence, okay? And negligence just means a mistake or an accident, okay?
Okay.
But in the context of a premises liability claim, we're not dealing with negligence because our legislature specifically stepped in and defined the legal standard that a landowner will be judged by in the law. So we actually have language in the law that our legislature said we think is better than the good old negligence we've been dealing with for a million years. And the legislature said for premises liability that for a customer in a commercial setting like we're dealing with here, it's the unreasonable failure to take reasonable steps to protect against the dangerous condition that they knew of or that they should have known of. And so that ramps up the liability ratchet just a bit, and it incorporates a knowledge component, either one that they actually had or one that we can reasonably impute to them. And that's very different from just the run-of-the-mill negligence claim that we might otherwise have.
Okay. So in this case, Beverly says that the floor mat had bunched up a bit and her foot caught it and she tripped and fell. That's to say they should have known about that might be difficult, right?
Well, how long was it bunched up? Who bunched it up? How did that how did that get caused? Was it another customer? Was it an employee?
Right.
When you say actual knowledge, you just almost have to assume that that's not going to be something you can prove. I mean, short of an email saying, hey, Billy, the floor mat is bunched up, go take a look at that. It's going to be hard to prove they actually had knowledge. However, for the should have known deal, then we start looking at policies and procedures and things like that, where you say, and this is where, if you think about, everybody knows that grocery stores, for an example, have sweep logs and stuff. The reason they do is not just to keep up with how often they sweep the floor. It's to have a log that says, we checked it 8 minutes ago, it was clean. Therefore, we didn't have an opportunity to know that a new bottle of spaghetti had fallen on the floor and created a new dangerous condition. So it's all about what opportunity they had to learn about the dangerous condition, and then what they might have done to prevent it from that point forward.
Now, Beverly, when you talked to attorneys, what do they tell you when you've called them on the phone?
Just like you said earlier, sorry, there's nothing we can do to help you.
And part of that, Beverly, is you're 81 and you have Medicare with all your bills except for $100, and your pain is now going on 2 months but can likely be over in 4 months. John, in plain hard facts of personal injury, that's a difficult case to take on, right?
Well, it has a number of complicating factors. One of the things, it's not that old people's cases are more difficult, but people that are on Medicare are in a special category, because Medicare, unlike any other health insurance, has a right to look forward towards, collection of money for anything that they might be required to pay for down the road. And so anytime we have potential future care or anything like that, it's more complicated when Medicare is involved. And it becomes very expensive to satisfy Medicare's interest, or to at least protect the insured so that they don't have Medicare knocking on their door down the road. So it becomes a very complicated, difficult case.
You mean Medicare wants to be reimbursed?
Not only reimbursed, but they want to have you set aside money for anything that they might be asked to pay for in the future that is accident related. So let's say, just to compare and contrast, car accident, Blue Cross Blue Shield, you have to have a surgery next year on your knee. BCBS is not going to come back and ask you to pay for that knee a year after you settle the case down the road. But Medicare may actually impose a duty on you to forecast the need for that knee surgery and require you to set money aside up front to pay for that if it's reasonably foreseeable at the time of settlement.
Okay. Wow. That's very so that could negate any benefit she gets from a small award.
Absolutely. It makes it for all the marbles to where a small award is just not worth anybody's time fooling with, because the risk and the challenges and everything else become insurmountable.
And when they hear about her and not having severe pain for long periods of time, even though it means a lot to her, in the legal world, it's I hate to say this, it's not worth pursuing in some cases.
Well, I think there's just this fallacy out there that there's some nuisance value that every case has some value just to make it go away. And I can assure you, after 20 years of doing this, that really is not the case.
Okay. So
they are completely willing to litigate a $5,000 case, even though it may cost them $30,000 in legal expenses to get to the finish line on that.
And she can't even get a call back from them, from Winchell's Donuts.
Not unheard of, unfortunately.
Wow. So, thank you, John. I mean, you are a wealth of information. We appreciate it. Beverly, do you hear why attorneys aren't taking the case?
Yeah, I understand. That's what my kids have been saying.
It's really too bad, but it's the way of the world. I don't know how else to put it. It's just going to happen that way. Sherry, you have a follow-up. You had called us about a 2010 Beamer. I'm trying to think of what it was. I'm trying to look up your file here. So refresh my memory here.
Well, I had called you and told you that I had took my Beamer to a shop, and that where I got the shop, the work done at the shop, the mechanic didn't want to finish doing the work, and so he told me to come and pick it up, or he was going to have it towed.
Okay, it was okay. I remember. It's a diesel, right?
Yeah, it's a diesel BMW.
Right, and it needed a particulate filter. And Schamberger's German Motors. And, okay, so he was going to do it because you were a student at a reduced price, you said, and you were going to participate because you're learning how to be a mechanic. And he said he screwed it up, right? And now, and then he wanted you to go pick it up and pay him. So I thought we had talked to that guy.
Yeah, remember he called in on air the day that you were talking to me?
Yes.
And then he told his version of what happened.
Yeah.
And you said, well, you guys are both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean, you really were. He was saying, you both told the same exact story. You assisted for a reduced price. Yeah. There were some screw-ups. Now, he didn't say he caused the screw-ups. He said he dealt, that they just happened, and he only charged you $484 as opposed to the whole thing, right?
No, he caused them, but that's not. It was never a discrepancy about who caused the screw-ups. I didn't cause the screw-ups. He did them. He was going to repair them. He had brought the parts. But he said that he had brought the parts to give them to me because he damaged the oil filter.
Okay,
and
that's right. That's right. He said he had a new oil pan there for you and all the new parts.
Yeah.
Okay, and he wasn't going to charge you for the labor. That's what it was. So did he give you those parts?
No, I haven't got the parts. I haven't heard from him. I reached out to him by message and by text message. I got no response. And I never got the parts. I never got my portion of my money because I paid him before he did the job.
How much did you pay him? How much did you pay him in full?
The $488. And he said he was going to give that half back to me because he felt like he wanted to.
He did. He did. You're absolutely right. He said, I'm going to refund half of the money for the labor I'm not doing, and I'll give her the parts that I damaged. Okay, then
none of that has happened.
Then Deputy Doc, I think we need to reach out to Schamberger's German Motors. We'll get your information and call you, Sherry. Here's why. Here's what he offered. He admitted there were screw-ups and he caused it. He admitted he bought her a new oil pan and some other parts. She can have the parts, and he was going to charge her half of the $484 because he wasn't installing those parts. So hold on. Sherry, thanks for letting us know because it's not one and done here. We like to follow things through. Hang on. Kelly will get your information. John will be calling you.
Deputy Doc.
This report is sponsored by Woodley's Fine Furniture.
We are looking at an excellent drive right
so
now
on
I-25. There was an earlier north on I-25 at I-70. It's off to the right. It's really not causing any delay in that area. In fact, speeds are really good right now on I-25 both directions. Same on 225, C470, 6th Avenue, Boulder Turnpike. A little slow traffic on 270 though. Westbound heading off of I-70. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a high of 54 today. Rain turning
We're going to do a seminar in May.
And will last overnight.
Like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
West and south. For tomorrow,
on what?
A seminar. We're going to do that seminar in May. You want Tuesday, Wednesday,
or
Thursday?
for the seminar on the liquid loan?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be evening or afternoon?
6:30.
Okay, what do I want or what?
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Neither of it won't matter.
You don't care?
No, what date?
I don't know yet.
Okay, no, that won't matter.
Perfect. Then I'm going to set one up.
Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine, they deal with pain. In fact, I really like referring people to Colorado Pain Care for help with their pain. And here's the deal. They deal with pain. They work with your insurance company and get right to the pain no matter what else is going wrong. Find out about them at coloradopaincare.com. They'd like you to read about them, the docs, the physical therapists, and the locations around Metro Denver that give you a convenient place to go for treatment 7 to 7. 7 in the morning to 7 at night. 303-GOT-PAIN is the number. Even same-day appointments available. 303-GOT-PAIN. You know, It seems like every day we talk about real estate problems. Sometimes they're like eminent domain or an easement that they have an argument over, or access or frontage roads. And, there's all kinds of stuff, right? Or just plain closings that went awry. Now, you need real estate attorneys, and they're few and far between. That's why we love having O'Brien Legal Services on the referral list and as our show expert, referralist.com, that is. O'Brien Legal Services can review all of your documents, whether it's commercial or residential real estate, and give you advice for a few $100s, which is well worth it when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate. 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. OLSlaw.com.
Michael Brown here for Littleton Fine Jewelry. I love small businesses that care about their customers and that offer.
What I want to know is when I turn IP on, where do I get my IP? That's the IP, right? So now, if I get that IP and put it in there, so where is the IP the one in the red? The 1010 or the 10110?
The 1010 is your public IP. It's red.
The 1921.
The 192.168.1.100.
Yeah.
That's your IP.
Okay, 192.168.1. Okay. So if I go to my browser and try it, 192.168.1.100 colon, and then it was
8554.
And then hit this. I'm on TSN Office. And I'm on TSN Office, okay. Yeah, so we're just spinning.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually problematic. It means that we're hitting it, but it's not responding. It times out on us. We're going to have snow again tonight, huh? That's what they promised. And I will probably be on my way to the airport at about the time it starts getting bad.
Where are you flying to?
Oh, I'm going to get my wife.
Why is this happening?
She's in Atlanta.
No surgery and no drug. This is the relief you can come home. For your
Yeah.
knee, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocol.
She gave me a week of solitude.
By a doctor with years of study in regenerative medicine. They're treating patients every day. With remarkable success. Life-changing results.
Yeah, that's because we know it's just basketball.
Non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, we're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics right now in Colorado. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call them today.
So what is that other one, the 1010? Or the 10.1.10?
Postal Service. We deliver packages fast.
That's the public-facing IP. That's the WAN.
One-stop shops, mom and pops.
That's the wide area network IP. Actually, though, it's not even the wide area network IP. It's the IP at the back of that.
This is asking me for username and password when I do the 10.1.10.237:8081.
It's asking for a username and password. Did you set up a username and password in that app? And you don't have a username and password.
Then why is it even asking?
Because that's what it thinks it needs to create the connection.
That was when I had 10.1 I used. But when I then what is this name here? They have a name better.
Those are all the that's the first one is just ours. Okay, here we go. Now
Below wholesale pricing. Stock changing.
So which one?
See, the RSTP is the one that we've been trying to connect.
RTSP, right?
Yeah, RTSP is the one we've been trying to connect
to.
The MPEG with the HTTP. Try that one. 381. See if that
Let
was.
me just see, 192.
That 168.
Mornings at 6. The Situation with Michael Brown.
That 1.100. Call it. No, try 8081 for that for the HTTP one. But the second one is
8081.
8081. I think that's what it is. You're back.
See. Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness right now.
There and tell you, oh, I'll get back to you in a week or two with your appraisal. Well, in today's age with computers and tablets and technology and all that, why do they got to wait a week to get back to you? Because that's time value of money. The homeowner in a refinance is, each day that goes by, you get closer to the end of the month.
Well, I mean, because you're not the only appraisal they're doing. Maybe that's why.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like you would think before they come to your home, they would have all the information. Once they come to your home, everything checks out fine. They'll sit there and say, "Okay, here's the appraised amount," and they send you an email with the appraisal. I mean,
it's not that easy. They go from your house. They go from your house, and they have to look up construction costs. They have to look up comparables. They have to look at recent sales. All kinds of stuff, man. It's not done when they leave your house. It's not. That's just the beginning. They do most of the work outside of your house. Kurt, am I right? Okay, so what?
Yes, you are correct.
I mean, and they have to find up-to-date stuff. They can't even go by the last time they did it.
And I understand your concerns about how long it takes them. And as a lender, we don't like the length. We think it's quicker. I know many appraisers. It's anywhere from a 4 to 6 hour process to do one appraisal. And what they have to go through, the research they have to go back to. So what many appraisers will do is they will schedule 1 or 2 days during the week to where they'll go do the actual physical appraisal. Then they'll spend the next 3 to 5 days going through and making sure they're correct before they submit them. So it just depends on how many they get. They may do, let's say, 3 in one day and then 4 in the next day, and then work on those for 2 days and then go back and do 3 and 4 again. And it may take them a week to get that all done to where they can submit them. And then once they submit them, they go to the AMC, and the AMC has to review them before they send them to you, because if they find a mistake, they have to fix it before it even gets back to you or the lender. So, yeah, it is a process that you would think with computers would be easier, but it's not.
Joe Lazaro.
Perfect timing.
Charges flat rate. He's a tenacious offender of right. You made a stupid mistake, falsely accused, or you did the deed. Call Joe. Keep the name handy. Refer people. 303-429-6200.
Did you know your old ugly driveway or patio can actually earn you money? I'm Mary Green of System Paper.
During our free demolition event, we'll demolish and haul away your old materials and give you an instant cash recycling credit. This could save you thousands, but you must call now at 877-8002. That's 877-8002.
Okay, well, this is another app thing saying this is called Live Surveillance Camera app. It says Live Reporter is a live video distribution application. Is that the
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station, available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts.
Okay,
all in one.
now this one is getting rave reviews.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Biden thanking President Volodymyr
This
Zelensky
one
for
is
his
getting
passionate
rave
speech
reviews.
before Congress today from a secret location in Kyiv as Russian forces step up attacks.
He speaks for a people who have shown remarkable courage and strength in the face of brutal aggression. Courage and strength that's inspired not only the Ukrainians, but the entire world.
The president also thanking Congress for passing the $800 million aid package for Ukraine, part of the omnibus bill he signed today that includes weapons
Hey,
and
I
drones.
just wanted you
More than 3 million
to see
people have
the,
fled Ukraine since
that I
Russia
had
invaded
about the
3
guy
weeks ago.
being frozen.
Tsunami advisories in place in
Oh,
Japan
shit,
after
okay.
a
Yeah, do you
7.3
need a cover
magnitude
thing?
earthquake struck off the coast
Okay.
of Fukushima.
But it's in the red. It's the last.
To fall across the country. The
See,
CDC
this
is
one seems to
projecting more than 11,000 Americans will die due to COVID-related illnesses.
Man, I'm
in the
already
next 2
on
weeks.
with this one.
This
I'm already on.
Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. You might
It
have
says
won.
I am. I mean, the camera is, and it has an RSP. It has this thing here, and I don't know what to do now with this.
Hold on. I need that.
Breaking the news, Iran's press TV.
Zahari Ratcliffe, a British Iranian woman who served a 6-year term in Iran.
You want me to write it down?
You might have shut it down, Tom. You might have shut it down with that app.
The release has come shortly after the British government settled a decades-old debt to Iran, and its negotiators in Vienna say they've nearly finalized a roadmap for the U.S. to rejoin Tehran.
It wants me to put one in there too, with a colon 554. I don't
A
know.
North Carolina man sentenced to 60 days in jail for his involvement in the January 6th Capitol riot. James Little testified he believed the election was stolen from President Trump.
Live
and he
reporter.
got
This
swept
looks.
up in a moment. Starbucks is taking steps to reduce waste. The coffee chain says it will phase out disposable cups in 2025.
54,
53.
53.
Yeah, it's an RTSP.
RTSP, yeah.
Colon /
No, colon 53. No, nothing after the 53.
No.
Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial.
Dr. Tommy, it loves you.
Wait. I'm there.
You're in B-Mix.
I'm in B. Okay, we're going to use that from now on. I'm going to not set it up today.
You just walked away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
Wonderful, bro. Hey, give me 5 here. That's better. That's a better. Remember that configuration.
No. I'm actually literally saving this to my configuration.
If I shut this down, I want to know something. So I'm gonna put this up at a different spot now that I know it works. But once let me just see something. Can you see me now? If I say done, I want to know something. Can I minimize this? You can still see me, right?
I can see you right now.
Okay, good. Now, this is cool. It's connected, right?
I'm looking at you. You alive. I'm about to see. Yeah, that's you.
Let's talk about
Okay, now it went off right then for a second.
Yeah, I know, because it's.
a whole lot of moisture.
Oh, I see. Hold
We're
on.
going to do a lot of melting initially.
I just want to see something. It's flipping my camera, and I didn't know you could do that with this. This might be made for the phone, and I just hacked it.
No, so that's going to be the hardest hit area.
So,
okay, it's good now.
Denver expected to get 2 to 4 inches of snow. Denver metro area police agencies in the middle of an intensive traffic and
live reporter, I gotta find this. I'm gonna do this.
Speeding and reckless driving rates have both climbed.
This made it easy.
Yesterday's podcast. Who's putting up the podcast? Who does that?
One of these guys. I don't know.
Yesterday's not up.
And now that our public is coming back to the workplace.
Now I'm going to shut this out again, and I want to see if it changed our number. Hold on. For some reason now it's fucking.
Even if it changed the number, that puppy lit up so fast that you could tell me the number when you see it.
Now I'm gonna go find it on my computer and see if it. Hold on. Okay, now I'm gonna start it up again.
caution through there. Also a stall on eastbound
Hold on
I-70
now.
at Brighton Boulevard.
Wait,
That's
hold
much
on.
slow from I-25. The rest of the highway
Jim,
drive
I didn't
around
know
town
it, but
in
no.
good shape, just with the usual volume on westbound
Show.
270 through Commerce City, and sluggish on the ramp from eastbound 6 onto southbound I-25. Fox
Sun
31
seems to be
pinpoint weather,
quirky,
overcast
but
this afternoon, rain showers developing this evening.
Reopened.
Changing into snow in the overnight hours with temperatures dropping down.
That was pretty good. Yes, just hold on. I know, but now it's getting quirky here. I want to reboot. I got to reboot. This is something. Yeah, something happened when I tried to redo
Do
it.
you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less
Whatever
than big box
app that
retailers.
is, we want to
Blindster
see if
blinds
we
are
can
easy
get
to
that
install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds.
on
Shop
other
Blindster
devices.
today and save big. Blindster.com.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder.
Force quit.
It's the new way to sell.
Force quit it.
For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home. And when your home
I
sells,
just don't know why I can't reopen it. Let me try it again.
no
Here.
longer do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home.
This time,
Let me tell you
the
about
last
Blue.
time I opened my
Orchard
report, it was a force quit while
Blue's
remaining
home
windows.
sold on the market for $33,000.
Do you want to try to reopen its windows
Had
again?
he
Don't
gone to a
reopen
home
it.
buying company, he would have missed out on that
Yes,
extra money.
it's remembering shit. This is a problem because I exited the wrong way. Now it's fucking with me. So I'm just going to reboot this computer.
Sell on market for more than their cash
I'm
offer.
just rebooting.
Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. Takes just a couple minutes and lets you skip home listing.
We'll remind
Before
some.
you
Oh,
decide,
I need
or
to
just
switch
curious
right.
what Orchard would pay for your home. Get a no
Okay, I'm gonna reopen
obligation
it.
offer at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
For your back, neck, and joint pain, visit spine1.com for a same-day appointment right now. That's spine1.com.
Afternoons 2 to 4. It's
All right, back soon.
Talking again to the candidates who would like to replace Governor Affordability this fall. Greg Lopez joins us at 3:05.
You know,
The action starts
what's
at
the thing? Change
2:05.
his name to
Wednesday,
Affordability.
6:30 K-House, Denver's Talk
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
The hot jam, man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Can't tout it enough. 40% off this month if you use Tom and the promo code. CBD for inflammation, anxiety, pain. Also, it helps greatly in the cosmetic line now to reduce inflammation of the face. It has cosmetics for eye serum and stuff. It's really cool. RealCBDThatWorks.com. It's a Colorado company, Panacea Life, distributing all over the country. But they're right here in Golden. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Okay, now let's talk and find out what's on your mind. Kurt Rogers, Affordable Interest Mortgage. And the guy was asking about an appraisal. What was the problem?
Problem was how long he thought it would take to get the appraisal done.
And again, Bill has another answer for that. This guy thought if he comes to the house and measures and looks and takes pictures and writes down stuff and leaves, why does it take a few weeks after that? Why can't he just go home and email it to him?
There's too much work to be done to it. There's things that the appraiser has to go through, has to get the right comps, has to put it all together to send it out. And they don't look at a house and go home and do it. Most of them will do it in segments. They'll look at homes 1 or 2 days, then they'll do all the appraisal and the numbers in the computer work in the next day or two.
Bill, what do you have to say?
Well, Tom, that's exactly right. That you've got other things going on. You look at it when he said, well, in computerization day, the only thing that helps us do is in our research and finding things. And normally a lot of appraisers will not do the pre-research because they don't know what they're looking at. They get out there, different improvements have been made, then you've just wasted 2 or 3 hours trying to find out what they have. The second thing he did mention was when he said, well, the appraiser would say, well, he will get back with him. You can ask your lender there, but, most all of us sign a non-disclosure contract. The property owner is not our client. The lender is, and we're not even allowed to get back with them. Any other information comes through the lender, not the appraiser. So that's the other reason why we won't get back with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Who owns that appraisal?
The customer owns it if they pay for it.
Okay. All right. Andy, what's on your mind? Hello, Andy.
Hi, Tom. I'm kind of at a standstill as far as buying hearing aids. I know you had tinnitus.
Yes.
I don't have ringing. I have hissing, but that's not a big deal for me. I must have seen on the internet 100 different hearing aid questions from advertisements as to, from $89 to $5,000. Can you give me any information on this? Any insight?
Yes. Yes. Most hearing aids are overpriced, period. And even though they tell you there's all kinds of digital technology, and they do this, and they do that, and they do this, and they do that, the bottom line, there are some that have better microphones and better processing so you can distinguish words. A lot of times people don't just have a hearing problem. It's more of a distinguishing the words problem. That's
mine.
It's yes. And some circuits work better with that. Some do. Okay. And what you have to do is just figure out what works for you. Now, most of them in Colorado, they make you, or they give you 30 days to try and to return. So that's the best way to do it. You can buy them over the internet, but you don't get that 30-day. I don't think they honor that 30 days over the internet. A lot of people are foregoing audiologists and expensive hearing aids because truly you can buy hearing aids without a prescription now, and you can buy really good ones, but you have to find the right one for you. That's where the problem comes in. Kurt, yeah, you wear hearing aids, and I used to wear, I don't wear mine as much anymore because I don't know why. I just don't. My tinnitus is subsiding a bit, but I'd like to know, Kurt, how do you evaluate hearing aids? On the line, you don't get the 30 days, do you?
No, online you don't. And I've had several over the years. I've lost my hearing in my right ear about 20 years ago. Mine's a little bit different. It's a bicross. I had to find somebody that knew how to make a bicross.
What is that?
Bicross means that the hearing aid that's in my right ear is basically a microphone, picks up the noise and throws it into my left ear, which means I lost stereo. Oh. Everything goes into one ear, so I have no idea where the direction of that sound is coming.
Okay.
And and I understand your question about hearing aids. There's so many different things that they can do. I do recommend shopping, going to a couple different places.
Yeah, I would say I would only go to ones where you can try and buy. That's the only ones. And there is no magic, Gary. That's the problem. They tell you there is, but there isn't. And there are some good people out there, but man, I can't see spending $3,000 or $4,000 an ear, or $8,000. I mean, some of them charge that much, and I don't see it. I mean, you can buy really good hearing aids online for a couple $100 each. And all I can tell you is this: I would go where I can buy to try it to buy it. That's what I would do. I mean, why not, right? I mean, that would be the way to do it.
I have some friends who got hearing aids at Costco.
Yeah.
And they said it was half the price of other places, and they are really satisfied with the customer service they got by.
Oh, that's wonderful! Actually, that's really great.
They save thousands, literally a couple of $1,000, half price.
And I agree with you on that because I had been to Costco on it. Mine are a little different, but if you're getting a standard hearing aid, they give you a great service.
And nowadays you don't have to get the mold to the ear if you don't want. They have those tiny plugs anyway that work. Do you have yours molded to the ear?
I had a pair that was like that, and they were wireless. These basically are, but they hang behind my ear. It's just easier.
No, but I'm talking about the part that goes in the ear doesn't have to be molded. It's just a little rubber nipple.
Yep, and it just slides in. You're right.
Yeah. So in that regard, you don't have to have them fitted anymore like they used to be. I would go on Amazon. There's some Amazon ones that let you try them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, or go to Costco. Try that out. I think the days of expensive audiology, I'm sorry, unless you have an ear it's like a disease or something, or I don't think you need them. I don't think you need them. I found one that had the same technology as my Widex hearing aids. Now, Widex were $3,000 a piece, I believe. Think about that, or a little more. The pair was $7,000, and the noise reduction and the technology I found identical for $139 for both.
Okay.
Now think about that. I mean, didn't they recently pass a law that you don't need, right? Didn't they recently, they deregulated hearing aids, I think. They deregulated hearing aids.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it used to be you needed, I know I heard about it, but I don't know what I mean. But I do know I heard they were deregulated where anyone can buy them now for pennies on the dollar, and you don't have to be an audiologist to prescribe them. And did you hear anything about that, Kurt?
That I couldn't answer. I don't
Okay. I know it. It was a big deal because a lot of the audiologists were fighting against it.
I think that's on the devices, Tom, where we have inexpensive devices that are very, very functional, that wanted to be classed.
Okay.
Here
it is. The FDA issues a landmark decision to improve access to hearing aids for millions. It is a new rule for a new category of over-the-counter hearing aids. Basically, the Food and Drug Administration said that you don't need prescriptions and you don't need to go to you don't need a medical exam or any of that. You don't need fitting by an audiologist. The rule is designed to increase competition and make hearing aids available to over-the-counter people.
And half of those actually are tunable by your phone, by your smartphone.
So you might want to just go to Amazon and try them out, or go to Costco. What did they cost at Costco, hearing aids?
I don't know exactly. He just said it was significant. It was half the price of other places.
$500 to $800.
Huh?
$500 to $800.
What do you mean?
That's what the whole set of hearing aids can cost at Costco. If you just need standard hearing aids, they're $500 to $800 for a set.
No, really?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Try Costco, man. Let us know how it goes. But to answer your question, Andy, I hate to say this, it's mostly bull when they talk about their technology. Now, I will say this, okay? Having said that, let me tell you where there are distinctions. Again, there are some circuitries that can that separate noises better, from the lows to the highs, the tinniness to the bass, okay? There are. And then there are some that have different facing microphones that you can adjust. So let's say that you're at a concert and you want forward-facing sound and you don't want to hear around you. You can have a preference to forward-facing. You can have a preference to rear-facing. If you're in your car and you want to listen to what your kids are talking, I mean, seriously, you can have preferences to what you're listening to. There are bells and whistles like that. But to mimic the human ear, it doesn't take much. So I know a lot of people are upset about that, especially the ones who, audiologists basically. I mean, they're basically going to go out of business.
I hit a button that will change from restaurant to a concert to normal. And then I can custom build my own.
Are yours Widex?
No. Mine are, they're a Bicross. I can't think of the name.
I got so fucking.
Tom, I talked to Schomburger. The show lady is being totally unreasonable. He said he would do all the things that he said, but all he wants is that he'll put the car back the way it was when you go to give her the money, replace the oil filter. No, he said he would replace the oil pan and the oil.
Let's talk about
Zero Res Denver. Zero Res, the carpet cleaning company that I use in my home. Why? Because all they use is water. Empowered water, yeah, it's a patented process where they make it super soft so it penetrates, and they make it alkaline based so it cleans even the germs and pathogens. But that's all it is, water. It dries faster, and your carpets stay clean longer because there's no soap attracting residue. and they have a safe and effective method of scrubbing it. And you know what? When you get them clean, they look like new. You can get 3 room areas for just $99. Or you can do more, of course, for a little added. They go deep into the fibers. They will stay clean. You will love them. ZeroResDenver.com is the website. ZeroResDenver.com. Don't forget 3 room areas, $99, or you can choose to do more. 303-471-5150. 471-5150. Sheridan Auto Tech is the place I send my friends and neighbors to for auto repair because they have everything you want in an auto repair facility. All they have, of course, longevity, which is important. They have knowledge, experience, value. I mean, here's the deal. 2 locations, and they do electrical repairs. They do minor and major maintenance. And these electrical repairs, they have an electrical department. You know, they can be very complicated, but Sheridan knows how to tackle it. Colfax and Lakewood, Havana and Aurora. Go see Uncle Kevin and his team of friendly people that will treat you like family. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242, 455-7242. And speaking of friendly people, I love the way they do business at SimplyFloorsInc.com. They're at 52nd and Ward at Southwest Corner. And you know what? You can go there, but you can make your appointment online, SimplyFloorsInc.com. Here's what I love about Simply Floors. They have better prices than even the big boxes, better installers. They have design consultants that they're assigned to you to help you incorporate that carpet or LVT or hardwood into your project. And then, of course, they have Buddy and Karen Mitchell at the Heart and Soul, the owners, who are dedicated to an excellent experience for you. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
He said he would do.
Okay, and she doesn't want him to, or what?
Well, all he said was he just wants her to sign a release saying that if something happens that is not related to that, so she's being totally unreasonable. All right. So we'll go on the air.
The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose?
You're persistent.
Navage
You've been working with that for a couple hours to get this thing to work.
Navage uses powered suction to saline in one nostril to the
That's why AT&T brought me out of Los Angeles, California.
And then out the other nostril, pushing out mucus and microbes. So you
that's my skill set, making things work that normally don't work together. That's literally how I came to Colorado.
You see things now.
Yeah, because I know how to do that. Well, give me a minute. Let me fool with it.
It's like me with numbers. I see numbers a certain way. They're simple. How'd you get there? Well, it's, I don't know. I see it.
I see connections and data.
Yep.
I can toss me a box of data. If I can get it digitized, I can make sense of it.
See, I'm just the opposite.
No. This inputting it, typing it in, and all that kind of stuff. No, I would never do that. But if you hand me a pile of data and it's digitized, and I got the right tools in front of me, make it sing, make it tell you a story you didn't believe was there.
That's the fun part.
I cut my teeth on the basic statistical inference at UC Irvine. Okay, I had a truly racist instructor. Mike Butler was shit. Okay, he literally stood in front of the class, and this was his MO. A random sample of 600 universities elected, this many white, this many Asian, this many Hispanic, this many black. Okay. The results of this survey produce these numbers right here. And every time, these are problems out of his head. He's making these up. And every time, white kids were first, Asian kids were second, Hispanics, then blacks. But you're doing math. You gotta prove him right.
It's just numbers.
No, you gotta prove him right. But children sitting in a classroom are immediately debilitated. He passed that stuff out, and the kids in the class would go, Oh, man, here we go again. Finally, I got pissed one day. I said, shut up and do the math. Do the math. Prove him right. And this was about the time the book Bell Curve came out. He was hard into proving stuff by Bell Curve. We slid to the top.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Mark, I'm so sorry you've been waiting. I saw this note and somehow I missed the line here. Mark, you're calling about a Colorado lottery. What's going on, man?
Okay, first, thanks for your service, Tom. I think your show is really great.
Yeah, and I'm sorry you had to wait. I really am sorry. I normally never miss a call like that. So go ahead, man. What's happening?
Okay, let me give you, it's kind of like a long, involved story here. On November 26, 2021, I purchased a Fast Lane crossword ticket at the Circle K on 17th and Wadsworth. I waited until I got home until I scratched it, and when I scratched it, it revealed that I had a $3 winner. So I waited until the next day because it's only $3, no big deal. So I waited until the next day to go up to the 7-Eleven up the street and get my money back. Well, when they put it in the machine, it said winner, and the printout said that it was a big winner, and I had to send the ticket down to the Pueblo office for redemption.
Wait, for $3? For $3?
No, the ticket, when I scratched it, it said it had a $3 winner on it. Or when I,
yeah,
you know,
but when you went to the store, it said you were a big winner. Did it say how much?
Yes. No, it didn't. But the clerk said that when it says big winner like that, that means that the ticket value is in excess of $599.
And what happened then?
So I was quite surprised by it. So I said, okay, and they couldn't pay it out because they don't have that, they don't have that much money available. So they said I should send it down to Pueblo for redemption. So I wanted a verification on it, so I went down to the King Supers to get a second
to get it scanned.
And they said the same thing. It's a big winner. I need to send it down to Pueblo because they don't have those funds. So I said I'm wrote a letter up and sent it down to Pueblo and told them the whole thing was, and I've made copies of it on my phone, and with the ticket and the ticket and the printout. So this is like about the first part of December. So I waited about 2-3 weeks before I called them back to find out what the progress was on it, and they said, well, they hadn't received it yet. This is around right before Christmas. They hadn't received it yet, and they'll give me back when they do get it. So after Christmas, like right before New Year's, a lady named Michelle from the lottery called me back and said they received it, and the ticket's under investigation. And right away, my antenna went up. I go, investigation for what exactly? So anyway, so he said they'll get back to me. Well, that was the only phone call I ever received from them. So I had to, find out what was going on. So I said, well, I called back a week later, and she says, well, you can talk to Brian with security. And so Brian was really nice, but he didn't really tell me anything. He said he claimed that the ticket was stolen on November 7th, and then somehow it was returned on the 21st, and then I bought it, and then that was that. I said, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Wait, but they're not accusing you of stealing it.
No. No, they said the ticket was stolen by some thieves,
But if it was stolen, why was it returned? I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get that part either. So there's a lot of questions I had about it. I said, this story doesn't make any sense at all. And
how would they know? How did they know it was stolen if it was returned? And if it was
apparently what they said was they had it on camera. That the guy went behind the counter and took some tickets and stuff like that. I found it pretty odd that of all things to steal, he'd steal some lottery tickets. But
well, especially if he stole them and did nothing with them.
Yeah, right.
Or did he scratch them to see if they won, and then put that fake covering back on it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but all I know is I told Brian, I said, look, I said, I've been playing the lottery for a long time.
All right, so what did he propose? I mean, why did it say big winner when you only were expecting $3?
That's my question. That's the question I can't get to. And
I think if they were stolen and they didn't know what happened to them, maybe they flagged those tickets at big winners because that was the only way they were going to get them back. And they were tricking people.
Possible.
You know, like...
That's possible.
Because...
Except that's Brian didn't tell me that.
Police used to set up stings that way to get people to come in. They would send them something saying they won something, and then they would show up at a place to redeem their prize, and they'd be arrested, the ones with outstanding warrants. Now, I'm not saying this is happening, but maybe these tickets somehow were flagged for some reason. They were flagged, and so they put them into the computer as big winners and said, if anyone comes in with these, they're going to have to send them in. But yours said...
No, that's the best explanation I've heard yet, but that's not what Brian told me.
No, I understand that, but I still don't understand, though, where do we go from here? So you've never gotten any money.
That's why I'm calling you, because I called him, spent a lot of time and money on this, and I called Brian back again, and he says, well, I'll offer to pay you $3. And I go like, well, I didn't go all this trouble just for $3.
Well, of course, if that's all, but that's all they owe you according to the ticket. I mean, just because the machine says big winner, the only thing that counts is what's on that ticket. And if it says $3, that's all you're entitled to.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I would like to know, though, out of curiosity, what the hell this is all about.
So would I.
It's crazy.
I find it really strange.
Hold on now. Do you have a name? Do you have a number for Brian?
Yeah.
I'd like to have us call him and say, Brian, I think this is of public concern. It's the integrity of the lottery. And you're telling this man it's not a big winner. The computer told him he's a big winner. Don't give us any BS. Give us a straight explanation. How did this happen? And if they were stolen, what sense does it make that people would steal tickets and then take them back to the store unscratched for them to be resold? What
That's
sense
exactly what I said.
And what did he say?
He didn't, he just kept going on, and I don't know. He went round and round. I talked to him for 20 minutes, and I got absolutely nowhere.
Well, then
I have one question. Did you ask the proprietor of the place where you bought the tickets if he reported stolen tickets? That's what I would like to know.
Okay, I did go back to the place where I bought the ticket, and I didn't ask him that specifically, but I asked him what their policy was on stolen tickets. And he says, well, we don't put them back in circulation, and we take them out of stock, so to speak. And
what do you
investigate?
Oh, I see. So if they're stolen, they won't allow people to win the prize. But how do they? But if they're stolen, how did you buy it?
I don't know. And I couldn't get a straight answer on that, so I don't know. And when I bought the ticket, I looked at it because I always do, and there were no unusual scratches on it or anything like that to indicate it had been defaced.
What store did you buy it from? Maybe they deal in stolen tickets.
That was my point. Ask him if it was stolen.
17th and Wadsworth.
What kind of store?
Circle K on 17th and Wadsworth.
I'm wondering if somebody that works there pulls a scam where they steal tickets and sell them and keep the money.
Yeah, that thought occurred to me too.
But somebody would have had to report them stolen for them to be flagged in the computer.
Yeah.
Hold on. Deputy Doc is going to talk to you. Hold on. He's going to get the number of that guy. Because Doc's not going to let him put them in circles. We're going to say, what is the story? There's got to be.
If lottery tickets are anything like, lottery tickets are anything like bingo scratch tabs, they know exactly what tickets are in any location, and if you report something stolen and they show up anywhere, they'll be looking for the same person or group of people to be bringing those tickets in, because the people stolen think they just come in and the winners get the winners. I mean, when we did
How do they know they're stolen though?
Okay.
If there's a bunch of tickets, how do you know they're stolen?
Okay. How does who know they're stolen?
The store.
The store knows. The store has to keep strict records of which tickets they put.
Well, I'm sure the store knows.
They have to. Okay, they have to. Just like our bingo.
Now, why is that? They have 100 tickets, right? They sell a few. Meanwhile, a few of them are ripped off, and they go to the next one.
Right.
Do they compare it?
That they don't know. Okay, or they know what their count is when they sell it.
Well, how do they know there's some missing from a stack of tickets? How do they know that?
You're not supposed to know, Tom. See, the vendor is not supposed to know. When we were doing bingo for the schools, we would get these.
Frank Duran, the real estate man.
.com. Frank will do market valuations of your home to give you the intelligence you need to make a decision on listing it or keeping it. You may want to sell it. It might be worth way more than you even imagine. And the way you can find out is with Frank Duran. It's free, it's detailed, including comparables, measurements. It's better than an appraisal for sellers because it's more than what an appraisal says, because in most cases they sell for more. Check it out. Get Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. We had him on the air today. He's an estate planning attorney who can help you at 833-ASK-BLAKE. All you have to do is call him. And then if you decide to hire him, he'll quote you a flat rate for what he does. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Michael Brown. So like when we run the bingo, we buy boxes of pull tabs. They're the equivalent of the tickets that the lottery tickets that you get from from across over the counter. The box tells you how many tickets are in it. Okay, it tells you how many winners of each category are in it. Okay. All right. And when we open that box, we have to keep a log of the record. Now, we don't keep the tickets individual. We have to keep a log.
But if somebody stole tickets out of the middle and you're selling them.
I'm going to get there. See, we're not supposed to know.
Okay.
We're not supposed to know.
Then what?
But if somebody steals your ticket,
Wait, you're not supposed to know what?
Okay, you're not supposed to know, we keep a log.
I get it.
1,200 tickets.
But we can skip that part. I get that part, man.
Hold on.
Okay, but if there's some missing in the middle,
when
like
I close
10 of them.
I'm about to tell you, when I close that box of tickets, okay, I'm supposed to be at zero. If I am not at zero, I have to report to the state.
But how will they know which ones were stolen? That's what I'm getting at. How do they flag the stolen tickets?
I don't know how they do.
I mean, I grant you, if you have 100 tickets and you only sell 95 and it's empty, 5 tickets are missing. But which 5 tickets?
I guarantee you that they keep serial numbers. So your box with serial number from 1 to 1,000. At the end of the day, you write down, okay, we sold 1 to 200, and then tomorrow you open up and it's 257.
Right, I get it.
Then you know 57 were missing.
At the end of the box, when they're missing, do they go back and find out every single one that was sold and then deduce that the other ones are stolen?
No, but what I'm saying is, you at the beginning of the day, you say, okay, we start at 1, and we get to 200.
Right.
Tomorrow, we open up, it's 257, so obviously 57 was stolen. And you know which 57 they were.
You don't necessarily, okay, now our pull tabs would be in a bundle, and you just literally get them out. You pull one and pay for them, all right? So it's a random. But at the end of the day, when we log our winners and the serial number off the winner ticket, and then we find out that box is short, we report that to the state. Now, if somebody stole those tickets, all right, and they walked into a different bingo parlor who plays the same pull tab, and they found the winners, okay, and they walk up and try to collect on those winners, that group is going to log that ticket. They're going to log that ticket serial number. Now we've got a trail, a paper trail that is actually following those missing tickets, those stolen tickets. The state was on my case bad because I created a database, okay, that literally tracked my boxes of pull tabs, and I knew what I wasn't supposed to know. I knew how many winners were there, which winners were left. I could literally tell somebody, if you go spend $50 on the rest of that box over there, there's two $400 winners in it. That was illegal. That would have gotten my butt put in jail. Okay. So they've got a check and balance. It's just not simple. It's not a straight line, I wouldn't think. It doesn't seem to be.
See website for full details. What's up, Lakers fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a
But I get what you're saying. How do you know? We're not supposed to know.
I think it's as simple as what I just said. They track the serial numbers every day, and then it's a no-brainer.
So get out there and win the home you want. Orchard, the new way to home, is a proud partner of Denver Nuggets. Get started at orchard.com.
If you think you're excited about Russell Wilson,
all right, let's do that.
Coming to the Broncos today at 2. Switch to the Broncos station to hear the press conference and his first interview as the Broncos' new quarterback, exclusively on KC.
You know what always amazes me about this football thing? If the Broncos have a 2 o'clock game, they start the pregame show at 8 o'clock.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Kelly, get Mark's information. Mark is going to talk to Deputy Doc, and Doc is going to call and not get flim-flammed. He's going to ask him, what is wrong with the ticket? Why did it say big winner when the printing said it was $3? Why? Why was it flagged as a big winner? Gary, let's talk about your Verizon wireless problem. What's going on?
Yes, Tom. I had Verizon.
Yes.
Here about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had rented an iPad, and the iPad went bad on me. And so I went out to the store, and they said, well, we can't take it off. You've got to call. So I am not positive whether I called or not. But anyhow, I had it for, the phone for several years. Well, this last summer, I went ahead and went to T-Mobile. Well, T-Mobile was supposed to stop everything.
Hold on. Gary, on your Verizon, you had a phone and an iPad?
Yes, my wife had a phone too.
Well, did you have an iPad?
Yes, I had an iPad, but it quit working on me.
I get it.
And
so you had 2 phones and an iPad on your Verizon.
Right.
Okay. And the iPad stopped working, and as far as you're concerned, you wanted it removed. Right. I get it.
Yeah.
But how does this now relate to the new system you went to?
Well, what happened here the other day, I checked my FICO score, and my credit went from 810 down to 680.
What?
From Verizon turning me into a collection.
Why didn't they just mail you a bill?
Well, they mailed me a bill, and I said I've had it shut off, and I've talked to 2 different people. They said, don't worry about it.
Who did you depend? Who did you depend on to close this account? You were supposed to close it. Why did you say, who's your carrier now?
T-Mobile.
Why did you depend on T-Mobile to do it?
That's just something they do.
Well, they obviously didn't do it. They didn't cancel, so you've been racking up monthly bills. Is that right?
Yeah, just the iPad.
Wait,
and like I said,
hold on. What do you mean just the iPad? Right now Verizon turned you into collections for just the iPad?
Yes.
Okay.
They shut the phone off.
Okay, both phones were shut off. Is that right? But your iPad continued to be billed, and T-Mobile didn't know about the iPad, did they?
I guess not. But
did you tell them about the iPad when you switched?
No, I didn't. I forgot about it because it was so long ago.
I get it. I get how this can happen. How much were you being billed for the iPad?
It's got to be about $10 to $20 a month.
Now, is that for the hold on? Is that for the service alone or for the iPad itself?
The iPad itself.
Wait. So you were paying that iPad off in installments?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm paying. It had a designated number for it.
Okay, but what I'm asking is, when you first got that iPad, were you paying for the iPad or for the service? Was it your iPad? Did you pay for it in full? And then
No, it was theirs. It was theirs.
And did you turn it back into them?
No, it just completely went working.
But you still have to turn it back if it's their iPad and you were paying on it. I don't think it was their iPad. I think it was your iPad on an installment plan, and you stopped paying on it. Okay, well, you have an unpaid bill. You shouldn't have just put it away and not paid on it. You should have taken the iPad, sent it back, and canceled it, or they would have replaced it.
Yeah, I guess. But
I mean, you know what you have to do, Gary? The real life story is this. You have to settle with Verizon.
I did.
Okay, how much?
I did. I ended up paying some collect things. He wrote me a letter, and I ended up spending $154.
Now, are you done?
Yeah, but then all of a sudden I read my goddamn, I checked my FICO score.
Right, and that's why. That's why. You see, listen,
I mean,
here's something you don't want to hear, Gary. Here's what you're saying. It was a mistake. Here's what you're saying. I didn't realize that I had to turn the iPad in. I didn't realize I still owed the money. I needed to terminate that properly. I didn't. You were on the hook for that iPad. In fact, according to the installment agreement, if the iPad went bad, you were supposed to get another iPad and continue paying. You owe the money whether you like it or not. Now, here's the deal, okay? Because I've had an iPad on a Verizon. I got a Pro on the Verizon plan, and that's exactly what happens. Or on AT&T, but it's the same kind of thing. You buy it. If something goes wrong with it, they'll replace it, but you buy it. Now you let it go, and now you said, now my credit score, which was damn near perfect, is stinky because of this. And here's the reality, and I know you didn't call to hear this, but honest to God, Gary, this is the reality. It should be reflected because you did show a dereliction of your financial responsibility. Okay, now you can be mad at me, but that's the truth. You did not handle this installment agreement properly. That is precisely what a credit score does. Now, you can ask them to take it off. You can ask them. Now, there are cases where there truly are mistakes by the credit agency. This is not one of them. This is where you actually did something wrong, unintentional. You forgot about it. But still, you stopped paying. So I don't know what I can do for you, Gary.
Go down by 120 points?
Yeah, good.
Really?
On an installment agreement, it sure as hell can.
If it goes, if it's late, it's only going to hit you 10, 15.
But if it's late every month, it's every month.
100 points.
And every month, he was late every month.
Yeah, no,
so he had about 10 late. He had 10 missing payments.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm questioning. I didn't know that.
One late on a mortgage is 75 points.
Really?
One late.
Wow. One late on a mortgage.
1 month. Boom. You're done.
Bang.
Would a mortgage, hey Kurt, can you turn that off? Would a mortgage?
.630 KHOW.
Sign up for Lowe's MVP's Pros Awards and Partnership Program and get exclusive rewards to help level up your business. Program subject to terms and conditions valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. I love this company for taking care of my retirement plan. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies will look at everything from investments to insurance to Medicare, Social Security supplements. They really handle everything and coordinate it. So you may think, oh, I already have my estate, I already have this, I already have that. But you need someone to coordinate it because they can predict what you will have in your retirement and how to preserve it and how to extend it and how to increase it. And if they get you into a product that has a commission, they let you know. They let you know if there's a fee involved, and it's all transparent. You have to approve everything, but they coordinate everything. It's the one place for all of your retirement stuff. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. Call them. You can meet with them as many times as you feel comfortable. You don't have to hire them. Just meet with them first. They'll come to you, or you'll go to them, or they'll do it by Zoom. 970-663-3211. Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. Now, what I like about them, they're people of action. I can tell you that firsthand. What I mean by that is, if you have pain and you call them and you make an appointment, they'll start attacking the pain day one. Maybe a trigger point injection. They also have some more invasive procedures that are more permanent, and they have spinal cord stimulators, nerve blocks, and other things. What you need to do is first get to see them, and you can, because they have office appointments from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. You can get same-day appointments. They have multiple locations. Go to coloradopaincare.com to find out more. coloradopaincare.com. 303-GOT.
Around here for American financing. You know, we talk a lot about the economy, and you and I both know that we're facing uncertain times.
I'm really fucking
impressed. But in the meantime, you might be sitting on a lot of equity in your home. I think it's time you talk to some of my personal friends at American Financing. They don't work on commission, and because they know I'm sitting
It goes off of here, I can't do anything to it. I can't turn it up, can't do nothing.
It just goes down. Equity loan or equity cash out.
Alrighty, sir.
Okay, you'll see
Number
and they certainly are going to charge you the upfront fee. You can call them. Tell them that I sent you, and I promise you'll get fantastic customer service and a personalized loan program that will prepare you for these uncertain economic conditions. So call American Financing and tell them you want to talk to one of Michael Brown's friends. They'll take good care of you, I promise. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182-334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Okay, so we got the trees are crumbling, the cucumber empanadas.
Sarah's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up,
But
alright?
if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Carl quit this morning, so Jessica, I'm gonna need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When a nasty cold keeps you up all night, Vicks NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms, which changes a night that sounds like this into a night that sounds more like this.
Full lines. Except for a small period of time during
NyQuil
the
Severe.
show.
The nighttime
Full
sniffling,
lines,
sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use this direct.
Hi, it's Marty Lenz. I've got some big news from my friend, Gabe Ribble.
So you said, we'll talk after the show. It's only a
Realty
few minutes.
PTC.
You said you had
Last
some
year,
ideas
Gabe
for tonight.
used what she called the
I'd like
Credit
to
Seller Protection
for you.
Program. That's where the buyer pays all of the commission, saving you as a seller thousands of dollars. That seller relief program was such a huge success.
You know,
changed
transitioning
the
to
game for
electric will be
home
something,
sellers
because I'm going to have to put a
and
charger in my
Gabe
house
has
and
just
different shit.
announced that the Ribble
But
Group
over
is
the long
bringing
run,
back the
I'm
zero
done.
commission
I'm
concept
done with fucking
program,
gasoline
but
cars
for a
and
limited
trucks.
time. That's where the buyer
done with
pays
what?
all
I'm
of the
going to
commission.
electric.
So to
I'm
be
going
clear,
to
as a seller,
Tesla.
you pay zero in commission. That's because Gay has thousands of buyers in her Buyers in Waiting program that will gladly pay the commission so you can sell your home receiving the best-in-class service while netting the most money possible. Call my friend today, Gay Ribble, at 833-453-SOLD, 833-453-SOLD. Gay, spelled G-A-Y-E, GayHasTheBuyers.com, GayHasTheBuyers.com.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to the IRS than you have to. I'm Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free class, Taxes in Retirement, on Thursday afternoon,
Well,
March
he went through it
31st.
once, so he
For
should
more
be as
information, go to
right.
registercolorado.com.
They actually have a
That's
bigger space to work in now.
registercolorado.com or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6. Wednesday at 4. A strong, courageous president addresses Congress. Of course, it's President Zelensky of Ukraine. We'll have the highlights for you. And will Zelensky's courage force Biden out of his fog of cowardice?
Yes, sir. Huh? I'm not off the too green.
Hi, Tom
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Kurt Rogers is with us. I want to finish up with him in a minute. I want to take this last call here. Matthew, what's happening? You have a problem with Easy Pawn?
Yeah, but I don't think I want to discuss it.
Oh, man.
I was calling for some side information. Sorry about that.
No, but here, Matthew, we don't know your last name. Well, you can talk in general. Talk in general.
So I'm attempting, you guys are helping me out, but I'm attempting to locate the registered agent for Easy Pawn.
Okay.
In a civil matter.
Okay, so can you tell me what the civil, you don't have to tell me. To locate a registered agent, you do a search at the Secretary of State for that company or for the holding company. And if you don't know the holding company, you might want to go to the appraiser's office and find out if they have an office, something like that. We can probably help you find that out. But they may not have a registered agent, in which case you can't take them to small claims court here.
Oh, that might be the...
Do you know what here's something crazy. I often wonder, why do people bother having a registered agent in Colorado if they're a national company? Why do they have multiple registered agents? Because it only invites small claims. Because all they have to do is not have one, and you can't sue them. Now, I don't know about Easy Pawn. And you know, Mark went to small claims court a lot with his own stuff, and I don't know if you can go to the store and sue the manager. I mean, what issue was it? Because you could possibly sue a local manager. So what was the issue? Can you tell me?
Yeah, well, you guys Officer Scott has been assisting me. I bought a Cadillac from Easy Pawn over a year ago now, and they never gave me the title, and they've been playing the runaround for over a year, and I can't get license plates to the vehicle without the title, and every time I go to the DMV, they say they're waiting on Easy Pawn.
Well,
so now that it's been over a year...
What would you sue for in small claims court?
Well, I wanted to get the refund. You guys gave me the information that I would take them to small claims court for the price I paid for the Cadillac and the money that I put into it. Because by law they have a reasonable amount of time to provide you with the title.
Yeah, but listen, I think that the dealer licensing board could help you. The state treasury could help you do that.
Okay.
I don't think you have to take it on yourself to do that. That they have to undo the deal. If you don't have title, they have to undo the deal. I don't know if Easy Pawn is a licensed dealer. I would suspect they have a license.
Yeah, and now they won't take my calls anymore. They're blowing me off. I mean, what do I do if they won't have anything to do with it?
We have to have Deputy Scott call them again, or you have to go to the state and you have to tell the state that they're in violation of their dealer. Listen, I am suspecting they have a dealer license. That's what I would do. Now, Matthew, go to the dealer licensing board at the state of Colorado. Kurt Rogers, affordable interest mortgage. Any words of wisdom regarding the liquid loan?
If you're looking for an opportunity to be able to have some money behind you, so in case something in the future happens, it's actually a great loan to have that cushion, because you never know what's going to happen over the next year or two. Or if you're looking at absorbing and getting access to some of that large equity that you have to buy investment properties, the liquid loan's a great loan to do that with.
All right, and you can get a hold of him at 720-895-0500, theliquidloan.com, 720-895-0500. All right, that's been a busy show. So if Kelly, get whoever didn't get on, yes?
I wanted to tell you about this, Matthew. If he goes to Dora, if he gets online with Dora will go right to the front door of the pawn shop, because that's a regulatory authority.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino.